Well, it's week number 2 of Lamar Raider football here on 97 OKK. Of course, this portion of our broadcast brought to you by Mattress Express by Woodstock Furniture. It's time to visit with head football coach Stacy Luker here on the broadcast. And, Coach, big win last week to get the season started, 29-14 down at Winston Academy. Of course, we'll talk about Winston coming up here momentarily, but congrats on your first coaching win here at Lamar.
Thank you, man. It was it was a good win. It was a good win against a really good, well-coached football team. I was just proud of the way our guys played. It was a good night.
Well, I got to start out this way. I'm going to use these nicknames the rest of the year. Old Knuckles and Sonic.
You like that,
I do like that. Of course, we're talking about Corey Towner and Joe Morrow, your 1-2 punch right there. Good night running the football. I know the numbers speak for themselves, but I'm a guy, I'm old-fashioned. I like to start down the trenches. Your offensive line really paved the way.
Offensive line had a tremendous night. Coach Breland and Coach Ballou have done such a good job preparing those guys. And, I thought our H's and tight ends, when they were in, blocked well. Walker, Mims blocked really well. Caleb and Hayes, they did a good job in there with that offensive line. And, I thought our technique was pretty sound for the most part. And the main thing, we won the line of scrimmage with that group. And, we had a late addition to that group. Knox Davis had gotten sick. He was sick, and we left him, bless his heart, he was so sick. We left him here with Allen, and so we ended up having to push Browning Peavy in, who hadn't had a single rep with our starting group. And Browning's a senior, hadn't played since 9th grade, but we thought he did a great job too the other night. So, which was good, because if there's anywhere on the field we don't have depth, it's in the box for us. And so we were just tickled to see that.
Yeah, I thought, going outside the running game, I thought Cade, I thought he managed the team well the other night. I know he only threw a handful of
jet early, but he had struggled jet early, but he had struggled with a couple of balls in the first quarter. When he ripped that one out to Landon, I think it sort of gave him some confidence. But Cade did a good job for us the other night. And, second half, I wasn't really we had that, when we got up 2 touchdowns, I didn't think, we're going to run the ball. I don't know that we really going to need to throw the ball right now.
Right.
And try to eat this clock and help our defense out even more. And try to eat this clock and help our defense out even more. So, but he did a good job, man. He did.
Let's talk about the defense. Beyond the two explosive plays they had, which was their 2 big scores on passing plays. Second half, obviously we held it the whole fourth quarter, but still, I thought your defense, especially in the interior, played really well.
Our box guys were really good the other night, D-line and linebackers, and we controlled that. I think their longest run from scrimmage was 7 or 8 yards.
Maybe.
So we did a great job there taking the run away, and busted a couple of coverages. But that was fixed at halftime. Coach Renault and Coach Hopkins fixed that. Coach Darby and great. they did a great job. I think we limited them around 140, 150 yards. And it was just a good night for them. Good team win. The special teams, the field goal. I thought we punted well. I thought Briggs punted the ball well. So it was just a solid all-around night for us.
Yeah, you told me last week that Mr. Mims was going to maybe be a little weapon, and did not have our first points of the year on a field goal, but dadgummit, he kicked it right through there.
He's something special. He really is. He can kick that football, and he just goes about his business out there. He don't say much. He works at it, and he had a really big summer with these Coles kicking camp. He was one of the better. He got invited went beyond the first camp he was at.
Right.
So he's got a really good future ahead of him.
Once again, we're visiting with Coach.
No, I always like for our guys to enjoy it over the weekend. Enjoy the win, and I know I do. But when you get in there on Monday, it's gone. It's gone, and your message is to be 1-0 this week. Still get off to a good start.
Right.
Start fast, finish faster type type mantra, and so we have been pushing that. Sometimes the way teams bounce back could be the maturity of their team. So we'll see what kind of maturity we have, what kind of leadership we have this Friday night. Tonight, I'm sorry, here at Winston.
Well, Coach, let's talk about the opponent tonight. They won a road ball game last week.
Yeah.
Shut Carroll out 37-0 the other night, and they're always a tough-minded football team. Got some athletes, and I know it's their home opener too.
That's right. That's right. It'll be a big night for them. They're fast. They're athletic. Got the quarterback that really runs well, and a number 14 that they move around that runs extremely well. But they're just so well coached in the box, and they're going to get after you a little bit. Mm-hmm. They block. They're going to block you, and like they got pretty good size and nothing fancy. Mm-hmm. Nothing fancy. They're going to run right at you, and try to bend your face mask up a little bit for you. So we've got to be ready to defend. We've got to again win the box, tackle well, and don't give up any big plays to them. I think we'll be okay. But it's early in the season. We're still learning, man. Mm-hmm. They're still learning,
right?
And sort of trying to find out who you are. And Winston may know who they are more than we do right now, But I'm excited for this game to get started. It's always fun to be back on the field, and as a coach, you've always heard or been told you have supposed to improve the most from game 1 to game 2. So I'm anxious to see sort of where we stand.
Yeah. In our visit the other night, is something you mentioned too, and I love this. You love to play on the road. Well, we're playing our first handful of games on the road, and you talked about the distractions of being at home and stuff like that, but I think this is a good spot for our ball club to be in.
I think so too. I've always liked traveling. Of course, I'm only in game 2 here.
Right.
But I felt like that my teams always played a little better on the road. They always focused a little better, and you get them on that bus, and all they got's each other in football for the next few hours, and I've always liked that, and I like going places I hadn't been, and tonight's one of those, So, I'm just excited about what it holds tonight, and really what the season holds, because I think that we could have a really good football team as the season unfolds.
Well, Coach, I would say what's the keys to going 2-0, but we're going to say 1-0.
1-0.
What's going to be the key to going 1-0 tonight?
Well, probably the same thing I told you last week. Yeah. We got to win the line of scrimmage. That's on both sides,
right?
And we got to take care of the ball. Can't have turnovers. I know watching last year's film, Lamar put themselves a little behind the 8 ball against Winston with some early turnovers, and ended up winning the game. But you can't. Anyway, you just can't turn it over. You can't end up in a fight because you can't get out of the way yourself.
Right.
Now if we walk out there and we just get beat because we've been outplayed by a better team, then you can swallow that one a little better. So it's the same thing for me every week. Just be physical, be more physical than them, and win that box, and let's see what happens.
Fantastic. Well, let's line up and go get them tonight, and good luck to you, the staff, and the players.
Thank you, man.
All right, that's Coach Stacy Luker here on the broadcast. We're going to take a timeout on the other side of the break. We're going to get you ready for kickoff. It's week 2 with Lamar taking on Winston Academy. We'll have the play call next here on 97 OKK. Do deep into things. Of course, that includes the Insurance Center, along with Cash Savers by Vowels and Vowels Marketplace, and, of course, our friends at Woodstock Furniture for being a part of our video stream this year. And, of course, we'll be getting into kickoff here momentarily, and we'll be thanking a lot of our other sponsors as we kind of move along here. But, of course, Coach Bird's been up here for now this is 8th season now here at Winston. Of course, well over 160 victories as the head ball coach in his career. And, of course, Coach Luker, a marvelous career over in Alabama, got his first Mississippi head coaching win last week.
And I couldn't be more excited for Coach Luker. It's like I told you last week on the air, he's a great football coach, but he's an even better man. So we're at Lamar.
Absolutely. So I do have some injury updates we need to get to here tonight. Of course, a couple of Raiders will not be in the starting rotation tonight, one of those being Robert Gardner. And Robert's going to be missing a little bit of time. Of course, did get kind of a good news, bad news scenario on that knee, and it was the same knee that he injured last year early in the year, Coach, with that ACL. It's not a complete tear. They look for him maybe to be back in a few weeks. We'll see what the timetable looks on that, but right now, definitely not going to have him tonight, and maybe at the Wayne game, and maybe a little bit beyond that.
Well, I talked to Robert earlier this week, and he told me that, you know, he had a partial tear of his ACL in the same knee that he tore up last year, plus he has a fracture in one of the bones, so he's going to be out for an extended period of time. But we have plenty of depth at the receiving corps, so we should be able to fill his shoes.
And, of course, the other big loss tonight is going to be Briggs Calvert. Now, Briggs is a little bit of a better story as far as the health goes. His arm is in a cast, but he is going to be out of that probably in the next couple of weeks. So maybe the Wayne game after the bye week, or maybe the first home game thereafter against Caledonia, possibly at Gray Cobb Field. But his injury quite not as serious, but we're going to be without those two young men here tonight.
You know, I didn't even know he had broken his arm or anything until I saw him at school on Monday. He told me he did it in like the first quarter and played through with it. But, you know, it's a big loss, but like you said, Robbie, hopefully he'll be back. The last time I talked to him, they were shooting for the first home game.
All right, so yeah, Caledonia, that would be the first home game. Because remember, folks, the upcoming schedule is going to be, obviously, we're here tonight at Winston, the bye week next week, and then we'll be on the road at Wayne, and then right after that, September the 11th. Hard to believe we have to wait till September the 11th for the first home football game at Gray Cobb Field. That'll be against Caledonia, a ball club that we saw a season ago. So very unusual schedule with this road stuff being so early in the year.
It is. It's very unusual. And, you know, one good thing about having a bye next week, if there is such a good thing as having a bye this early in the season, it'll give our guys that play a lot a little more time to rest and heal and heal up from those bruises.
Absolutely. Looks like the Lamar Raiders are out of the locker room. Of course, the visiting team dresses over in that, I would say, legendary basketball gym here in Winston Academy. I walked around in there a few minutes ago. Of course, our volleyball team played up here earlier this season and won in straight sets against the Patriot volleyball team. But before we get too deep in, I got to wish, say congratulations to Courtney Schimmelfinning and the volleyball team. Of course, they got a big win against MRA last night, 3-0. And, Coach, that was a fun atmosphere. And junior high got a big win last night.
You know, I'm so proud of our volleyball team and Coach Schimmelfinning and the job she does with those girls. I've got to get out there and catch a game. It's been a year or so since I've watched them play, but I can't wait to get out there and watch them.
All right, Raiders making their way off here to our left here. Of course, got the captains here near the 50-yard line. Of course, Winston Academy here at Patriot Field is doing their thing over here with their big inflatable helmet, and they're going to be coming out of their locker. Both the locker rooms are pretty close to one another here at the ballpark. Of course, you got the softball field overlooking the visiting stands over there where the Lamar folks are sitting, and it's a good contingent of Lamar folks who made just a little over an hour-plus trip up here to Louisville tonight. Of course, Louisville's pretty busy tonight. You got this ball game here tonight, and then, of course, just down the road at Louisville High School, they're hosting a big jamboree tonight and tomorrow night, and the Meridian High Wildcats are also in town tonight taking on Louisville, which Louisville does it big up here with their high school. They do 2 days of a jamboree. Wow. So that shows you how serious Louisville High takes their football up in Winston County. So a couple of good programs up in this neck of the woods. But, Coach, looks like we got our captains out there just kind of looking over there from a distance, looking at a few guys. Looks like Landon Pringle's going to be one of those guys. Hayes Lancaster. See Brody Mayette over there on the far side. And also Bradley Woodall is going to be your captains here tonight for the Lamar Raiders. And we're just kind of waiting on Winston Academy and the officials to get us for the meeting at the 50-yard line. And, of course, you were on this field last night coaching our junior high our ball players. And this is a natural grass field. And I know it's been dry all over Mississippi. I know we've gotten some rain in spurts over the last couple of days, kind of pockets, but field looks to be in decent shape.
It's in good shape. There's a couple of dead spots here and there, but overall it is in really good shape. But like you said, we played here last night and but was impressed with the field and the facilities, everything here at Winston. The head of school, Mike Brown, I've been knowing him for a long time. He does a phenomenal job, as does Coach Bird and his staff.
All right, so this is kind of a repeat of last week. Lamar got out here pretty early, and they kind of waited on the opponent to get out here, and that's kind of what we're doing here. Of course, this is Winston's home opener tonight. A lot of energy in their ballpark here tonight, welcoming their Patriots in after a big road win over Carroll Academy last week. Yeah, this has been a series over the past, 2 or 3 years that has been somewhat good. Of course, I got reminded today on Facebook by my good friends, the Gordys, that we were up here last time when Minifly got the old 52-yard interception return for a touchdown where we about broke the sound barrier that night. And we were slopping around in the mud that night in 3 or 4 inches of rain, but that's the last time we've been here to Louisville. But, Coach, these two teams played a season ago back in Meridian, and Lamar had to escape with a win last week. We turned it over a little bit too much, and Coach Luker talked about that in the pregame a few minutes ago.
Yeah, this series dates back. We played Winston a lot of times in my career here at Lamar, and it's going to be a good atmosphere tonight. And these two teams are no strangers to each other, and it may come down to a turnover here or there, or a penalty or something like that to decide this game. We hope not, but this is football, so you know how it goes.
To me, Coach, I don't know, just from an observer here, broadcaster observing this ball game, I think this first quarter is big for Lamar. You don't want to come out sluggish and you're still living 7 days ago. Come out here, be the aggressor, be the more physical football team, and kind of have a carbon copy of what you had in some sense last week.
That's right. We need to come out, set the tone early. The one thing you and I talked about last week on the air is our first 3 or 4 series, we started inside Simpson Academy territory and only came away with a field goal. We need to start faster tonight and take advantage of short fields when we have them.
All right, captains at the 50-yard line. We mentioned the ones for the Raiders. For Winston Academy, they are going to usher Hayden Blanton out there, one of their offensive linemen / defensive linemen, and Kingsley Ashford. That is a young man, a senior. We're going to have to keep our close eye on him because Ashford is one of their big weapons. And Coach,
nothing less out of those guys tonight.
All right, there you see the officials down there at the 50-yard line on the WA logo, the Winston Academy logo here at the 50-yard line, going over some last-minute instructions. Of course, in high school football, they've already flipped, which I know who won the flip because I was down there for it. But we're going to give you the official word here in just a second. Yeah, a little change, not in college football where they do it live on the field, but this is more or less – Coach, you've been in those meetings before. This is kind of a, hey, let's keep it clean. Let's have a good hitting football game.
That's right. This is just basically a formality. And it's like you said, the referees are letting them, hey, we want a clean football game. No stupid stuff, no unsportsmanlike penalties, things like that. So, it should be a good football game. I'm ready to kick this thing off and get going.
All right. Officials still having a lengthy word here at the 50-yard line. All right, I think we've got everything squared away now. And to make it official here, Winston Academy has won the coin flip here tonight. And, folks, they are going to defer to the second half. So we're going to see Cade Vowell and the Lamar offense starting out here tonight, moving left to right on the broadcast here tonight with the football. So a little bit of a change. We won the toss last week and deferred, and we saw our defense out of the gate. So we're going to see our young offensive line back to work again, which I know you're excited to see them go to work again here tonight.
Oh, yeah, being a former offensive lineman, I love it, man. Just get out in the trenches and just be the best man win up there.
All right, both sets of captains heading back to their bench are actually the run-through areas over on the left and right side of the football field here. Of course, Winston running from the scoreboard end of campus and Lamar running from the opposite end, a little closer to the softball field over here to our left on the broadcast. And once we get the players out on the field, we'll probably take a little commercial break and get you ready for kickoff here in just a few moments. But we'll be checking some scores throughout the night, some Academy scores. Of course, the big one down in Simpson tonight, League taking on Simpson on the road. And, of course, you got some other big ones here tonight. And here comes Winston Academy. The Patriot mascot is riding on the back of a motorcycle. How about that? And here comes the Patriots.
I'll have to say that's pretty sharp. I like that.
That was pretty nice. Winston wearing their red jerseys, gray pants with the blue helmet and the Patriot logo. Here comes the Lamar School Raiders to the opposite side of the field, wearing their all white again here tonight. The white jerseys, white pants with the blue and red stripe down each legging, and that Lamar headgear with the scripted Lamar on each side of the helmet, led by first-year head coach Stacy Luker on that opposite side of the field. Well, folks, we're going to step away for 2 minutes on the broadcast here, 2 minutes on our video feed and radio feed, and when we return, we'll tee it up. It's another night of Lamar Raider football. It is on deck after a 2-minute timeout here on your home for Raider football with Queen City News Feed, East Mississippi Sports, and 97 OKK. Okay.
with the offensive linemen. I like to call them the big uglies, but I think that's going to be the key. Can they open holes for Kari and Joe, and can they protect Cade Vowell?
Yeah, I think offensive line obviously is going to be a big factor here tonight. I think defensively, you know, they got a lot of good athletes, and I think it's just going to be containment. I think containment you're not going to stop them all night. You know, everybody's going to get their big plays, but just try to limit them as much as you possibly can. So you're
right. Just limit the big plays. And offensively for us, like I said last week, we have to stay ahead of the sticks. We didn't turn the football over last week, which was one of the big keys in our victory.
All right, Joyner's going to kick it off for Winston at the 40-yard line. Folks, sit back and relax. Another night of Raider football here on the broadcast as Winston will put toe to leather, and we're underway here tonight as Morrow's going to catch it around the 24-yard line across the 30-35. Joe cuts back inside, and Morrow will be finally gobbled up and wrestled to the turf at about the 38-yard line. So here comes Cade Vowell, his second start of the signal caller for the Raiders. He'll be moving left to right, 1st and 10 inside the Lamar 40.
A little short pooch kick by the Winston Academy kickoff team right there, handled by Joe Morrow. Nice little return up to about the Lamar 30, it's like the 37, 38-yard line. Be 1st and 10 for Cade in the offense.
All right, of course, the big story last week for Lamar was not just the offensive line, but, of course, you got to give your flowers to Kari Towner and, of course, Joe Morrow. And it's going to be Towner getting the start in the backfield at running back. From near the far hash mark at the 38-yard line, here's the handoff to Towner. First play of this Friday night is going to be beyond the 40 up to maybe the 41.5. Might have got the 42 on that, Coach. Physical 4 yards out of the gate.
That's exactly right. Physical 4 yards. Got behind Big Brett Calvert, who pulled. Managed to pick up 4 yards. We're going a little hurry-up offense here.
Pistol formation, play-action fake, and Val's going to dump this thing down to Walker Mims, but a heck of an open field tackle down here. Going to cut him down for maybe a yard or two at most. That was James Joyner who came in and made the tackle, held him to just maybe a yard on that pass play.
Well, Walker came across the formation from his H-back position, and Cade rolled out to his right, made a nice little throw to Walker Mims for the completion, but got to give credit to the young man from Winston. Came up and stopped him for very little gain, if any at all.
3 receivers to the far side, 1 to the near side on 3rd down and 5. Val rolling out to the far side. Cade releases the football, and it is nearly intercepted, but it is caught by Harala beyond the 50 down to the Winston 49-yard line. 1st down Lamar, 1st down Raiders, powered by David Neal's Express Pharmacy.
Nice job by Cade rolling to his left. Nice catch there by Hamp. Harala made a slide and grab.
All right, 1st down just inside of the midfield stripe at about the 49. Far hash mark goes Towner in the offense as Kari cuts it back inside and gets it down to about the 45-yard line. Coach, another physical 3 or 4 yards.
Right, that's the same play that ran the opening play of the series here. Just get behind Big Brett Calvert pulling. And I'll tell you what, Robbie, I like this little up-tempo offense we got going.
And, folks, it's Knuckles on the field. Towner is Knuckles, and Morrow is Sonic. So right now it's Knuckles. That's the nicknames. I said Thunder and Lightning, but I like Sonic and Knuckles a little bit better. All right, Val will hand it off to Towner once again. Good open field tackle down there at about the 44-yard line. Good tackle right there by big number 7. That was Rhodes right there. Good-looking sophomore linebacker came in to make the stop for a 2-yard gain.
That's right, just another physical run. This time to the right side, got behind the pulling guard from the left to the right. Managed to pick up a couple of yards. Great tackle by the Winston Academy defender.
3rd down and just over 4.5 right here. As Val in the shotgun, once again Towner in the backfield, and Val's going to release the football down to Harala. Hamp cuts it back inside. I think he's near the 1st down. I think he got it.
I think he got it. That's a nice play design right there. Nothing fancy, just a quick throw out to Hamp coming out of his slot position. Made the catch, turned up, got the necessary yards for the 1st down.
No score, ball game just underway. 9:37 to go. This is the opening drive, opening quarter here tonight at the ball field. All right, Val in the shotgun, 1st and 10, brought to you by David Neal's Express Pharmacy. Here's Towner on the handoff into the scrum and didn't get much, if anything. He might have got a half a yard at most, and that's going to be 2nd and 9, maybe.
They didn't. They marked him just with no gain at all. That was a great job by the Patriot defense right there, just stuffing every hole up front. Kari had nowhere to go.
Val's looked good throwing the football here early.
He really has. Really has.
3 receivers to the far side. The lone man is Pringle down here to the near side. Towner in the backfield. Val in the shotgun on 2nd and 10. Cade, plenty of time to throw it. Completes it to Mayat. Here goes Mayat inside the 35-30, and he's going to be tackled down near a first down. I think where they're spotting him is going to be exactly 10 yards. Move the sticks. First down, Raiders, powered by David Neal's Express Pharmacy.
Great play call right there. That's what they call Lake One. That's the play that not only the high school runs, but the junior high runs too. That's just a screen out to the 3rd receiver in the trip set over there. Catch it, get behind your blockers, and get yardage.
3rd different receiver that Cade is connected with too, by the way. Harala, Mims, and now Mayad on 1st and 10 from the Winston 28. Here's the handoff to Towner. Towner busts one inside, and he'll be upended off his sticks at about the 23-yard line. That's a solid job by the offensive line. Right up the gut there, Coach, for 5 strong yards.
Just man-on-man blocking right there, hat on hat. Give it to your feature back. Let him run north and south. Pick up a nice gain of 5, brings up 2nd and 5.
All right, ball is spotted somewhere in the neighborhood of the Winston 23-yard line. Val takes the snap. Here's Towner again, and this time Towner's got nothing but a wall of red to run into. It's going to be no gain as he gets shoved back 10 more yards, but they're going to mark him down pretty much at the line of scrimmage, no gain.
I have to give credit to the Patriot defense right there. Did not let Corey get ahead of steam. Tried to run the trap back to the left side there with no gain.
All right, so 3rd down and 5. Lamar's converted every 3rd down they've had on this drive, and every one of them have been about 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6 so far. And the Raiders have got all those first downs. By the way, a pass too, by the way, on 3rd down. All right, 2 receivers split out to each side here for Val in the offense. Cade back to throw, looks, surveys, throws it down the field, and it is caught by Harala down at about the 16-yard line. First down, Lamar. First down, Raiders, powered by David Neal's Express Pharmacy.
Nothing fancy about that. Had 2 receivers to the left. Outside guy ran to go, inside guy ran out. Good throw, good catch.
All right, in the red zone, first red zone trip of the night for the Lamar Raiders now, near the 16-yard line. Here's Towner right here, and Towner, physical, punishing run down inside the 15, down to about the 13.
Good job there by Corey, picking up what he could right there. Got to give credit to the Winston Academy front line again. They did a good job stopping Corey. Did pick up a gain of 4, as you said, on a very physical run.
Boy, this drive started, folks, back at the Lamar 38, and they have just methodically drove it down the field. Still in the first quarter, 6:48 and counting to go in the first quarter. Still no score on that Will Sweat Alpha Insurance scoreboard, but Lamar is threatening. Around the 14-yard line now for Val in the offense. Mayat, the lone man, out to the far side now. Towner in the backfield, and play action fake. Quick throw is incomplete. I think they might have been looking for Caleb Randall in that slot right there, Coach, but pass was a little off kilter right there.
Yeah, you're right, looking for Caleb Randall out of his slot position right there. Just not a real good throw by Cade. Brings up 3rd down and about 6.
All right, Randall will check out of the ball game, so let's check the skill guys here. You got Harala, Pringle with him. 1st and goal, powered by David Neal's Express Pharmacy. What a gutsy call that was.
That was a gutsy call, and you got to give that to Corey Towner. That was all Corey right there, because the Winston Academy defense did a good job of plugging the holes up front.
All right, we got we got a timeout on the field called by Winston. I think they need it. They're gassed on defense. So timeout on the broadcast as well. 6:20 to go here in the first quarter. No score. Back in 30 seconds here with Lamar Raider football on Queen City Newsfeed and 97 OKK.
It's over $1 million big, and it's happening now at Woodstock Furniture. Market Showroom Sample Sellout. Hundreds of name-brand quality market samples purchased at pennies on the dollar, and that's exactly what you'll pay. Living room, bedroom, dinettes, recliners, mattresses, and more, all at wholesale prices or below. But you do need to hurry while selections last. Credit terms are available even at these unheard-of prices. Market Showroom Sellout at Woodstock Furniture in Meridian and Philadelphia, or WoodstockValueCenter.com.
All right, welcome back to the broadcast here from Patriot Field here on the campus of Winston Academy in Louisville. Still in the opening possession of the football game. No score, 6:20 to go here in the first quarter as Lamar has it 1st and goal here at the Winston 5-yard line. Looks like Hayes Lancaster has checked in at H-back now.
We got Hayes Lancaster, H-back on the right side. We got tight end Walker Mims and tight end Caleb Randall both in the ball game.
So a semi-beef package right here. I say semi. Here's the handoff to Towner right up the gut. Cuts back to the far side. He's right at the goal line. They're going to mark him down right at the 1 yard line. I thought Kari might have been able to sneak in there for a touchdown, but it'll be a gain of 4, 2nd and goal from the 1.
Good job by Kari. Good job by the offensive line right there. Brings up 2nd down and goal from about, I think you said 1, maybe 2. Tell you what, they got Brody May at 1-on-1 over here. Wouldn't be a bad idea to throw one up to his 6'4" frame.
All right, from the 1 yard line on 2nd and goal, they're going to hand it off to Towner, and Towner is in. Touchdown, Lamar! Touchdown, Raiders! Kari Towner adds another one to his total here in 2026. That's from 1 yard out. Raiders strike first on a lengthy drive to open up the ball game. That TD is brought to you by Teal Newell Animal Hospital. Coach, we saw a little bit of everything there.
A little bit of everything. I knew they'd been working on the little up-tempo offense. I saw that in practice a week or so ago. Wasn't sure if we'd see it last week at Simpson, and we didn't, but we come out tonight, and I think that's one reason Winston may have had to take a timeout right there because, like you said, they were a little tired.
All right, here comes Maddox Mims to attempt the PAT, the left-footed kicker who can kick it a country mile, folks. Trying to make this a 7-0 ball game here on the Will Sweat Alpha Insurance scoreboard, and he certainly does. So, with 5:44 to go here in the first quarter, Lamar drives it on the opening possession of the evening and leads it 7-0. Raiders will be on defense after we take a 30-second break here with Queen City Newsfeed and 97 OKK. All right, welcome back to the broadcast here with your Lamar Raiders here on 97 OKK and, of course, Queen City Newsfeed. Very impressive opening drive by the Lamar Raiders, Coach. Double-digit plays, but the big key, obviously, the conversions on third down.
That's right. You stay ahead of the sticks, good things will happen to you. I don't know if you saw it or not on that
Friday night or next time that we'll be with you after tonight. We'll be down in Waynesboro, Mississippi. I love going down to Wayne Academy. That's a good little field down there in Waynesboro. Taking on a pretty good Wayne Academy football program. That'll be 2 weeks from tonight here on the broadcast. And finally, somewhere down the road, we'll be at Gray Cobb Field. So
I get to make that trip down to Waynesboro next week, so I'll let you know how it looks.
There you go. All right, here's Mims. He's going to kick this one back to the bus and then some, and that's going to be a touchback. Real quick story about Wayne Academy. I remember going down there one time, went to the concession stand. They had deep-fried onions out of the concession stand. And, son, let me tell you, I was happier. I was happier than a hog and slop that night.
What deal is, do they still have the cannon they shoot off?
They still got the cannon. So if Drew Rosenbaum is back, wear an extra set of breeches is all I can say. All right, from the 20, well, they got the old train horn down here for first downs here at Louisville. All right, here comes the Hop Renault defense here for the Lamar Raiders. Winston will be moving right to left on the broadcast from the 20-yard line. And Lamar's going to stuff him in the backfield, that being the would-be tailback who came out of there with a hand on him. I'm still trying to clear the bodies here. It's going to be a loss. Was that Woodall?
I think that was Bradley Woodall, number 52. Bradley Woodall on the tackle there for the Raiders.
Basically to the original first down marker at the 20. You had Randall coming that way along with Mims and Harala. Just about all the defense was bearing down on him.
He managed to get the corner, but give credit to our defense. They managed to get him out of bounds for just a gain of one, maybe not even quite a whole yard.
All right, so here comes the 3rd down and 9 play. The Raiders did such an exceptional job early in the ball game last week of getting them off the field quick on offense. Let's see if they can do it again here. After the 2-yard gainer to the 21, quarterback this evening is going to be Paxton Greer. He is in the shotgun. Greer, play action fake. He's looking down the field. He's going to throw it, and it is going to be in and out of the hands of the would-be receiver. Actually, our defender, excuse me. And, Coach, a lot of hand fighting. I like the no call right there, and breaking things up was Cormac Delaney.
You're right. That's a great no call there. Receivers both, the receiver and Cormac Delaney were both fighting for the football, and good no call.
Yeah, because I think even the ball was kind of thrown overboard a little bit right there, so I like the referee not throwing one right there.
I do too. Let the young men decide the game.
All right, Morrow and Harala, looks like they're back here to return the punt near the Lamar 45. Lamar may have jumped a little early right there on the penalty marker on the punt.
I think you're right. I believe Lamar was offside there in the neutral zone.
All right, so it should be.
Oh,
it's going to be a false start.
False start on Winston.
Excuse me, false start brought to you by Citizens National Bank this evening. Okay.
I guess that's the reason why our defensive lineman moved up front.
All right, so move it back to about the 17-yard line now, 16 and a half. All right, Morrow and Harala back near midfield now. Here's the punt. It's a high-hanging kick. It's a short kick. Morrow will call for the fair catch right at the Winston 48, maybe the 49-yard line. So you're in plus territory right here, 1st and 10. 7-0 Lamar on the Will Sweat Alpha Insurance scoreboard, Coach, with 4:47 to go here in the first quarter.
You couldn't have asked for a better start for the Raider defense there, getting Winston off the field 3 and out, getting really good field position, like you said, on the Winston Academy 48-yard line. Let's see what play Coach Norwood has dialed up here.
Tell you what, I'm so proud of McLeod. He called a good football game last week. Folks, this is a bright, young offensive mind in McLeod Norwood. He's a good play caller.
He absolutely called a great game last week.
All right, looks like we're going to get Sonic this time. Joe Morrow in the backfield. So we went with Knuckles, now it's Sonic, and young Joe Morrow, the sophomore tailback. 1st and 10 for the Raiders at the 48. Play action fake, and he's going to release the football. It is caught by Pringle somehow, some way. And boy, Val took a big risk right there, but it's going to equal 16 yards and a first down. Brought to you by David Neal's Express Pharmacy. Man, that was a dangerous throw.
Yes, it was. Winston had Landon Pringle covered, had 2 guys, and Cade Vowell just threw it in there between the 2 defenders. Landon Pringle picked it up and gain of 16, 1st and 10 for the Raiders.
And plus, Cade had a defender bearing down on him in the backfield, so he had a lot going on right there, but kept his poise somehow, some way. All right, 1st and 10. Oh, Morrow just got leveled. Good Lord, I felt that one up here. He just got introduced to one of the captains for Winston Academy. That's Hayden Blanton. And Joe's going to field that one a little later. That's a 2-yard loss.
Just a great job by Winston Academy defender right there, just knifing through the line, stopping Joe Morrow for a gain for a loss of 1, maybe 2.
Just under 4 minutes to go here in the first quarter clock. Lamar 7, Winston nothing. Lamar with football possession, 2nd down and 12 from just outside of the Winston 35-yard line. Morrow remains in at tailback now. Randall at the H-back spot. Here's Morrow in the carry, stretching things out to that far side. Morrow's got the corner. He is at the 20, 25. He's all the way in. Touchdown, Lamar! Touchdown, Raiders! That's going to be 37 yards. Give him the pay dirt right there, Coach, and Lamar up by 2 scores. How about that?
That's the way you want to start this drive here. Don't know if you noticed it or not. We had a little different formation there. We had Walker Mims lined up at tight end on the other side. The H-back was on the right. Got to give credit to Walker Mims for a great block over there on the left side that allowed Joe Morrow to get the edge and take it to the house.
All right, so it's going to be a PAT coming up right here. 3:36 to go here in the first quarter, as it'll be a PAT upcoming here for Mims. Snapback it was good. The hold is somewhat clean, but the kick is even better. So Cade Vowell had to hold that one with his fingernails right there to kick it up and true. So with 3:36 to go here in the first quarter, Lamar leads it now 14-0. That touchdown brought to you by Teal Neal Animal Hospital and up on the Will Sweat Alpha Insurance scoreboard. We'll step away. We'll return after a quick 30-second break with Queen City Newsfeed and 97 OKK.
Make your wedding unforgettable with Rosalind Holiday's live wedding paintings. We turn your cherished memories into vibrant, hand-painted art. Limited 2026 dates remain. Visit ourholidayart.com to book your wedding today.
Stay informed with Queen City Newsfeed, Meridian's trusted source for timely news and weather alerts. Get breaking updates and community highlights. Follow us on Facebook or visit queencitynewsfeed.com today.
All right, welcome back in here on the broadcast. 14-0 Lamar with 3:36 to go here in the first quarter. Coach, couldn't have scripted it, but I know we said that earlier, but let's just double that.
That's right. Good job there. Great job by the Raider defense getting Winston Academy off the field. 3 downs and out. Then offense comes back out, and I think, 3-4 plays later, we stick it in the end zone, go up 14-0. Well, Maddox Mims has it teed up here, ready to kick it off for the Raiders.
All right, so, boy, Lamar got the 3 and out on defense, kind of sandwiched in between that, too. Got to give the defense a lot of love, too. So, boy, Winston's defense has been out there all night so far in this first quarter. Mims will kick it back to my bedroom there. Don't peek, and that's going to be a touchback. So.
That is a weapon. If you can make teams start from the 20 and have to drive the length of the field, that is a weapon right there.
All right, so let's see what Winston does right here, Coach. Of course, we talked about. I told you earlier the first quarter for me was going to be key. So Lamar's checked that box so far, but now Winston in their home opener, they've taken a left jab and now a right jab. So what do they do right here?
You just it's a long football game. You just got to keep plugging away here if you're Winston.
All right, Greer will be in the shotgun. By the way, folks, this is a freshman quarterback, by the way, in the shotgun formation here for Winston Academy. All right, here's the pitch play down here to the near side. A little bit of speed right here, but even better speed by the defense right there, holding him to about a 5-6 yard gain. Coach, they pitched it down here to Holmes here, one of their running backs, and he had speed, but we nibbled him down at about the 25.
Well, he just came from his H-back position on the right side, came across the field to the left side. Good job by James Ross and Maddox Mims coming up making the stop. Picked up a gain of 5, 2nd and 5 for the Patriots.
Got a scoreboard update coming for you here in just a few moments from Mendenhall. This will surprise you once I give it to you. Here's the snap, and now Greer, the quarterback, is in no man's land. He's going to be 8 alive. I think that was a miscommunication on the handoff. I think it was a zone read type play, but Lamar sniffed it out, and Greer is going to lose some big yards, Coach, back inside the 19. Wow, they are way off schedule.
You called it right there. Just a little miscommunication for the Winston offense. On the tackle was James Ross, and I believe that was Walker Mims coming in to finish it off.
Yeah, I'm getting a lot of text messages about the score on the stream, folks. We're doing what we can. I can't control it. It's good, yeah. Folks texting me, I don't control the video feed, so just please be very patient. So I don't have the buttons over here on my side, Coach. I'm just a mouth. Here's 3rd down and 12 right here. Here's the handoff here, and that is going to be a carry across the 20 up to about the 24. I think they're just trying to get any kind of room they can get to give their punters some more wiggle room right here. But, Coach, that's yet another 3 and out by the Raiders right there.
I agree. That was just a straight handoff out of the I formation. Like you said, just trying to pick up enough room so their punter has a little more room to work with. Back deep for the Raiders is Joe Morrow and Hamp Parala.
Into the first quarter down at the pit, Leak 0, Simpson 0. How about that?
Well, that kind of surprises me.
Here's the punt, and Lamar almost blocked it, but it's going to be a deep kick up to near midfield. Here comes Harala now, cutting it back here toward the inside, and Hamp's not going to get much of anything. I don't even think he got a yard on that return. Pretty good coverage. Got to give Winston a lot of love right there. That was 32 right there. That was Drew Wood, another 9th grade. Folks, they got a lot of 9th graders on this Winston Ball Club. They're getting varsity time. So with 1:30 left to go here in the first quarter, Lamar leading at 14-0 up on the scoreboard.
Now, you said it. That was a good job by the Winston Academy punt coverage team right there. Hamp fielded the punt and really had nowhere to go. He tried to make a guy miss, which he did make one guy miss, but he wasn't able to make the second guy miss. Ball is resting now on the Lamar 47-yard line, 1st and 10.
All right, 1st and 10, line of scrimmage right there at the 47-yard line. Raiders moving left to right, rather, with 90 seconds to go here in the first quarter of play. Boy, you'd love to get another one in the end zone before we go to the second quarter. Here's Towner on the handoff, and Kari, another punishing run. Look at all the dust coming up from the middle of the field right there, Coach, and that's going to be a gain of 5-6 yards. It was like a cloud of dust just came up in the middle of the logo.
That was an old counter trap play. They brought Joe Morrow in motion from the right to the left, faked it to him, handed it back to Towner, got behind 2 offensive linemen, picked up a gain of 5, brings up 2nd and 5 for the Raiders.
All right, so line of scrimmage going to be right at the Winston 48-yard line, right on the edge of the WA logo in the middle of the field here on the video side of the broadcast. Here's a speed sweep to Morrow along the far end. We got a penalty marker down, and Morrow's going to be horse-collared over on that far edge, but this looks like it's going to be a hold on Lamar and erase the play right here.
You're exactly right. I'm not sure who the guilty party was, but it is definitely a hold on the Raiders there. Joe had the corner and picked up the yards for the first down. Unfortunately, though, it's coming back, and that is a spot foul. So,
of course, all of our penalty markers this year brought to you by my good friends at Citizens National Bank. All of the local locations back at home in Meridian. Of course, they're all about local and all about Lamar Raider football. All right, after the penalty marker, that's going to move it back into Raider territory, back to the 42-yard line. You know, the Raiders did not coach penalty markers last week. We had a handful, but nothing that really kind of stubbed our toe in that win.
No, you're right. Nothing that really hurt us. That one right there hurt us a little bit. It set us really far behind the chains. Brings up second down and about 15. We got 3 receivers to the right, 1 tight end to the left.
45 seconds remaining here in the first quarter, 14-0 Lamar. And that's going to be a handoff to Towner, and he got thunked right in the hole, but somehow his momentum is going to carry him forward to about the 45-yard line. And coming in there to make the tackle for the Patriots was Carson Pham, a big senior linebacker who popped Corey pretty good.
That's a good job by the Winston Academy defender right there. Just met Corey, held him to a minimum gain of 2, brings up third down about 13.
All right, 3rd and 13 from the Lamar 44-yard line. Raiders a little behind schedule after that holding call earlier. Just a handful of seconds left here in the first quarter. We really don't have to snap it if we don't want to because the play clock is behind here, and I think we're going to hold it.
I think we are just going to hold it and let the quarter run out.
So that will bring us, folks, to the end of the first quarter where it was all Lamar and then some. Folks, we played one here in Louisville tonight, and your Lamar Raiders lead it by a score of 14-0. We'll take a 1-minute break, 1 minute on the broadcast, back with the second quarter after this here with Queen City Newsfeed and 97 OKK. Lamar still with football possession here. It's going to be 3rd down and 13, Coach, as we flop into the field. I like that. Go ahead and hold it to the second quarter right here.
I agree. That's a very smart decision, and that gives Coach Luker and Coach Norwood a little bit more time to decide what play they want to run here on 3rd down. Tell you what, I wouldn't mind seeing that little screen play we saw last week on that very crucial 3rd down in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, we caught Simpson with their britches down last week. Let's see if we might call that here. Let's see. We got 3rd and about 13 here. As Val is back to throw. He's going for a home run ball down the field, and it is caught! It is caught 20 all the way down to the 15. What a throw by Cade Val all the way down to Harala, who made the catch inside the 20. First down Lamar, first down Raiders, brought to you by David Neal's Express Pharmacy. Hello, Mr. Val.
How about that throw? The Winston defender had pretty good coverage on Hamp, but Cade made the perfect throw where only Hamp could get it. Big explosive play, first down the Raiders.
How about Cade Val throwing the football tonight?
That's very impressive. That was a tremendous throw.
All right, so wow. Lamar goes deep on 3rd. How about the 3rd down conversions tonight? Unbelievable. In the red zone down near the 15, 16-yard line for the Raiders. That was the first play of the beginning of the second quarter. Second play is going to be a handoff to Towner. They're trying to rip the football loose, but Not going to get it out of Kari's hands, as he's going to get maybe about 3 yards. And tell you what, Kari is such a physical specimen. So impressed with him.
Yes, he is. He just got in behind the big offensive line. Got to give credit to Winston Academy's defense, though. They held him up for a gain of, we'll say, a long 1, a short 2, brings up second down and about 8.
All right, folks, we're about a minute deep here into the second quarter. Lamar 14 and Winston Academy nothing. This is the third possession of the evening for Lamar. They scored, obviously, on those first 2. Rushing touchdowns by Morrow and Towner on the night. Towner is the tailback. Mayad, one of the receivers down here to the near side. Here's the handoff to Towner. He's got a lot of running room on that far side. He's inside the 5, and he's going to cruise into the end zone. Touchdown, Lamar! Touchdown, Raiders, 14 yards, no penalty markers. And the Raiders now go up by 3 scores. Kari with his second touchdown rush of the night.
Got to give credit to Hayes Lancaster, who was out there and made a good block there. Free Kari going around the right side, picked up the touchdown.
So with 10:46 to go in the second quarter, how about this, Raider fans? 20-0 on the road. Swinging gate play. We're just going to kick it, as Maddox Mims looks to stay perfect on the night. So Knuckles has got 2, Sonic's got 1 if you're keeping score at home. Mims getting ready for the kick here. Snap is clean, hold is clean. Kick is a line driver that is right down Broadway. So with 10:46 to go here in the second quarter on the Will Sweat Alpha Insurance scoreboard, that's another Teal Neal Animal Hospital touchdown for your Raiders. It's 21-0 Lamar. Back in 30 seconds with Queen City Newsfeed, East Mississippi Sports, and 97 OKK.
Why dream about the perfect recliner when you can dream in the Z-Cliner by FlexSteel from Woodstock Furniture? The only chair designed for sleep, featuring stain-proof fabric, techno-gel head pillow, built-in heat and massage, pressure point relief zones, FlexSteel's patented blue steel springs, and for those who need it, the quiet power lift function. All Z-Cliners are in stock, so you can buy it today and get it today. Come see why we're your low-price leader at Woodstock Furniture, Meridian, Philadelphia, and WoodstockValueCenter.com.
Well, folks, welcome back into the broadcast here from Patriot Field here in Louisville. And if you're just tuning in, my gosh, you've missed a bunch. First of all, shame on you. Second of all, 21-0 Lamar with 10:46 to go in the second quarter. Second quarter here.
It's a great job by the Raider offense right there. And I tell you what, Cade Vowell just made a absolute beautiful throw on that third and long situation to put our offense down there in position to score again.
All right, Mims will kick this one, and he's going to kick it out toward left field there in the softball area. I almost kicked my vehicle. I parked over in that neighborhood somewhere. Mims touches it back, and here comes Winston. They've started at the 20 all night. And, well, I said left hook or left jab, right jab, and that time it was an uppercut because we converted on the third down and long on the pass. And Winston's got to be thinking, what the heck is going on right here?
Well, I haven't watched the film on Winston this week, but obviously Coach Luker, Coach Norwood, and the staff saw something that they felt like they could let Cade throw the football.
All right, left to right goes the Patriots now. They're going to go under center with 2 backs in the backfield. They're going to hand it off down here to the near side. And I tell you what, Harala was able to shake that block right there. And, of course, he had a little bit of help on the edge as well right there from James Ross. Right now, we're just clicking on all cylinders, folks. That's a loss of 1.
That's right. Winston lined up in the old wishbone formation. Instead of having 2 tight ends, he had wide out to each side. Great job by, like you said, by Hamp Harala, fighting off that blocker and coming up, making the tackle for a loss of 1. Second down and 11 for the Patriots.
All right, line of scrimmage here on the near hash mark at the 19-yard line here for Winston and their offense. And, the ball is free on the field. I think Lamar just recovered it. I think Lamar just recovered a fumble right here, folks. Yep, sure did. Coming out of there with the fumble recovery. It looks like, Coach, that's 21 right there for the Raiders. That is Pace Perrette coming out of there with the fumble recovery for the Raiders. And it was an ugly snap from center. Quarterback bobbled it, and the Raiders are set up in great position now. First down at the Winston 17.
Great job by the Raider defense. Great job by Pace Perrette, seeing the ball on the ground and falling on it.
Man, Winston has gone 3 and out, a couple of times, and now
3 times, and now they turned it over
and now
deep
they
in their own
fumble it.
territory.
Wow. Well, Coach, you know as well as I do, ninth grade quarterback, first home start, jitters, but he's an impressive-looking young man, good-looking athlete. But
yes, he is.
Been a tough night so far. So Val in the offense from the Winston 17 now moving right to left. Cade, clean pocket, throws it down here to Mayat, and is intercepted. It is intercepted coming down here to the near side, and boy, Winston's returning this thing up to near midfield, and they're going to be cut down. Finally, Morrow came in and made the tackle beyond the 50 at the 47. And, Coach, first turnover of the season for Lamar. And I'm not going to cut any slack here. It was just kind of a poor throw right there.
That was not. That was a very bad throw by Cade. But you know what? This is only his second start.
Yep.
Mistakes are going to happen. Got to flush that play. Get your offense back out here. Hopefully the defense can get a 3 and out. Got to give Winston credit right there. They were pinned deep in their own territory, managed to pick off the pass and actually return it back up to the Raider 47-yard line, 1st and 10 Patriots.
9:46 to go here in the second quarter. Lamar still enjoys a 21-0 lead, but Winston, maybe you hope from a Raider standpoint this doesn't jumpstart them right here. From the Lamar 47-yard line, best field position obviously of the night for Winston. Greer back to throw, looks, fires it down the field, and it's nearly intercepted by Lamar. He tried to squeeze that into a tight window to one of the Winston receivers, and Brody Maya nearly picked that thing off, but incomplete.
Not sure exactly what was going on there with Winston. They had 3 receivers, all within about 6 or 7 yards of each other, and Brody Mayat just absolutely had the ball hit him right, I think, right in the hands, and I don't think he was expecting it, and he dropped it, brings up 2nd down and 10 for the Patriots.
Well, they say, Coach, too much traffic in the area.
Too much traffic. I honestly don't know what the deal was there. It had too many receivers in a little bitty space.
2 receivers to each side for Winston here on 2nd and 10 from the Lamar 47. Greer back to throw and releases the football. It is dropped. And I think he felt the footsteps of Harala coming right there. The pass was dropped down there by Joyner, number 2. And, Coach, if he catches it, Hamp's having him for lunch.
That's right. If he catches that, that's a completion, but it would definitely be a no gain because Hamp had a bead on him.
Got some other scores filtering in from MAIS here tonight. MRA here tonight. Into the first quarter, Ravenwood, Tennessee 9, MRA 7. That game is up in Nashville tonight. And Leak now leads Simpson 14-0 midway through the second quarter. So Leak's starting to wake up a little bit. 1st and 10 from the 47, or excuse me, 3rd and 10 from the 47. Here's the play action fake. Greer is under duress here, and he's going to get away here, and he's going to try to run it. Lancaster on his heels along with Mayat, and he's going to be wrestled out of bounds. Now, that's going to go down, well, maybe a yard loss on the play for a sack there by Randall and company. But, boy, there was a lot of window dressing in the back, a lot of misdirection, and Greer, it looks like to me, Coach, the freshman, this game is pretty fast for him right now.
It's a little fast for him tonight.
So after the Raiders got the fumble recovery back at the Winston 17, they threw the interception. Winston got a little spark of life, and they're going to have to hand it right back to Lamar as they'll appear to be punting it on 4th and 12.
I don't think there's any doubt here. I think they punt this football and try to pin us deep.
All right, here's the kick here, and it's going to be an end-over-end kick that Morrow will field at the 17. He returns it up to the 20. Jukes and jives back out to the outside.
Block.
Big block there toward the back end of the field there as Morrow will return it up to the 32. Yeah, I saw that block like you did, Coach, back on the other end of the field. So Lamar gets the ball back, leading 21-0 with 9 minutes and 10 seconds to go on the Will Sweat Alpha Insurance scoreboard in second quarter play.
Good job by the Raider defense answering the bell there after we threw the interception and Winston returned it back into plus territory. Good job by the defense getting the ball back. Brings up 1st and 10 for Lamar on about the 32-yard line.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm getting all kind of MAIS scores in here tonight. Into the first quarter, Bayou Academy leads Greenville St. Joe 7-0. Looks like Tri-County leading 22-0 over Kent into the first quarter. Pillow, they are winning in a big way, 24-0 in their ball game tonight. So just some scores across MAIS here tonight. We'll be getting some more of those throughout the evening. 1st and 10 from just beyond the 30-yard line in Raider territory. Speed sweep here to Pringle, and Pringle He kind of cut back to the inside, and he was right into the waiting arms of one of the Winston defenders. That was going to be number 7, Trenton Rhodes, who wrestled Landon there. And, Coach, once he cut back in the inside, that's when he was met.
That's right. I think he from here, it looked like he should have stayed to the outside, and I'm not sure he would have gotten the corner and picked up a lot of yards. But as it was, he put his foot in the ground, turned it upfield, and like you said, met the Winston Academy defender.
8:40 left to go in the second quarter. Lamar 21, Winston nothing. Here's the handoff to Towner. Towner cuts it back inside, and Towner is going to be wrestled down beyond the 40, trying to fight for that first down. Looks like, well, it's a pretty good mark. Depends on the spot here. He is right near the first down mark at the 42, but Kari once again showing his physicality and sneaky good speed.
Yes, got in behind her, pulling H-back, pulling guard over there, picked up about 8. We're going to bring up 3rd down and 1. He just kind of pinballed his way through there.
All right, let's check the skill guys. We may go in. Coach, what do we call this formation when we go with Mims at quarterback? The Wild Raider?
The Wild Raider.
The Wild Mims? The Wild Thing? I don't know. We'll have to come up with a name on that too. But
You're right. Mims is at quarterback.
So Mims will take the snap at quarterback on 3rd and 1. Our Taysom Hill takes the carry, and I don't think he got it. It depends on the spot. It was over on the far end of the field. Kind of tough to see if he got it or not. I think where they spotted, he's going to be short.
He's going to be short, yes. Did not manage to get the corner. Great job by the Patriot defense, stopping Walker for little or no gain.
All right.
The way your defense is playing, do you go for it?
21-0. I don't want to give them any momentum, but Coach, they're moving the chains over there. That's a first down, Lamar.
They gave him a first down.
They finally they eyeballed it, and that's a first down for the Raiders, brought to you by David Neal's Express Pharmacy. They moved the chains very late.
They sure did, and
Coach Bird is not happy.
I don't blame him on that. I absolutely don't blame him there.
We're going to keep things right here on the broadcast because I'm pretty curious myself here.
Because from our angle, Robbie, it looked like he was stopped short.
And then, probably 15, 20 seconds later, they're moving the chains. Of course, the chains, folks, are on the opposite side of the field by the Lamar bench. And we're kind of at an off angle. We're about at the other 47, 48-yard line. Just from an eyeball's view up here, I thought he was a little short like you, Coach.
I did too.
But at least measure that thing, I would have thought.
I agree. And I do not blame Coach Bird for Winston for being upset there at all.
All right, we're going to keep things here on the broadcast as Winston did take a timeout right there. So we'll keep things right here with 7:41 to go here in the second quarter. Lamar 21 and Winston nothing. Of course, I want to thank some of our other sponsors here tonight. Those folks include So It Seems, along with East Mississippi Oral and Facial Surgery, Van Zyverden Insurance Advisory Group, The Rustler, First State Bank, our good buddy Bernie Mitchell, Burns and Burns, and, of course, Weidman's. I don't know, that wasn't a very good Bernie impersonation, so appreciate my buddy Bernie for being on the broadcast this year.
Bernie's awesome. We really enjoy having Bernie around our athletic program. He does a lot for our school.
All right, so it's going to stay a first down for Lamar after the Winston timeout. They've got one left in the bag. If you were with us early, folks, they took one in the opening drive on defense, and now they take another defensive timeout here. I'm
still confused about that, but nonetheless, it's 1st and 10 Raiders.
1st and 10 for the Raiders. Here's Towner, and it's going to be down here to Harala. We got a flag that came in at the last minute. Harala's going to be gang tackled. Boy, he kind of fooled me on the misdirection here to Harala, and that's going to be a first down for the moment down here inside the 45. That was a pretty good fake right there to Towner, pitch it out to Harala.
That was. I'm like you had me totally fooled, and I'm not sure what the flag is for right here. Let's see.
The flag was thrown down the field where Harala was tackled. It's going to be a hold on Lamar. Somebody holding on this edge down here.
Must have been. I did not see it, so.
It was a spot foul. They threw the penalty marker down near the 44, 45-yard line, so that will turn this into a, 1st and 7, basically?
1st down and 7, yes.
So that'll erase the fake him out broadcaster play right there. I was fooled totally on that one.
I was too. I thought Towner had the football.
Cade's a little magician now. He's having a pretty good night so far. 3 receivers to the far side, 1 to the near side. That lone man is Mayette. Towner in the backfield at running back. Val back to throw. Look, surveys, releases the football, and it's incomplete. Yeah, Maddox probably thinks I should have caught that one. It might have been a little high for Maddox Mims right there. Incomplete, 2nd and 7.
That was one of those screens to one of the 3 receivers that was set over to the right side. Cade zipped that in there. I think he should have took just a little bit off of that, because if Maddox catches that, he has running room.
All right, folks, 21-0 Lamar leading. It was 7:27 to go here in the second quarter on the Will Sweat Alpha Insurance scoreboard from Louisville tonight here at Patriot Field on the campus of Winston Academy. Good night so far for your Lamar School Raiders. 2nd down and 7 from the Lamar 45-yard line, near the near hash mark, moving right to left on the broadcast tonight. Walker Mims in motion down here to the near side. Here's the handoff to Towner. Towner will cross the Lamar 45, get up to maybe the 47. It'll be short yardage on the play, and that'll bring up 3rd down and just over 5 yards to go.
Once again, Mims coming from his H-back position on the left, back across the formation to the right. Him and the pulling guard got in there, and Kari got in behind them, picked up a gain of a couple, brings up 3rd down and about 6.
Yeah, ball is just a fingernail beyond the Lamar 46-yard line. All right, looks like Morrow is going to check into the backfield now. You've got Mayette and Walker Mims to the near side, and Maddox Mims and Pringle to the far side. On 3rd down and 6, Val looking to throw the football, and he's going to be sacked. Ball is loose. Ball is loose on the fumble, and let's see who came out of there with it. But, man, Cade got tattooed from the blind side right there, and it looks like Lamar did recover the ball, and it'll be 4th down. So, really the first time we've seen it all year, Coach, the offensive line, at times, I'm not saying all the time, there's been a couple of instances where there's been a small little leak or two here there tonight.
That guy came off I'm not sure if he was the outside linebacker or defensive end, but he came around that edge and just absolutely crushed Cade Vowell.
So it'll be 4th and 10, and it's a high snap to Mims, who was doing the punting tonight because Briggs Calvert with the injury, and that's just basically a pop fly on the infield. And that's going to rest. Boy, that thing didn't go but just a handful of yards. It is going to roll dead at the Winston 47. So Maddox, not one of his best efforts right there, Coach. Basically just like an infield pop-up right there, as we'll swap possessions here with 5:52 to go in the second quarter. Lamar 21 and Winston nothing. Coach, looks like we've got a heat timeout.
I believe you're right. I believe we got a heat timeout here.
All right, we'll take one ourselves here. Lamar 21, Winston nothing. We'll take a quick 30-second break. Back after this with Queen City Newsfeed, East Mississippi Sports, and 97 OKK. Second quarter, Coach. Lamar 21-0. Of course, big first quarter, and that was really the first time this evening where Lamar got a little stuck in the mud on offense.
That's right. It's not a good offensive series there for Lamar at all.
All right, so after the short punt by Mims, Greer in the offense for Winston will take over at their own 47, moving left to right on the far hash mark. The freshman back to throw. He's under trouble once again, and he is going to be dropped. Caleb Randall chased him down for the backside and is going to sack him all the way back at the Winston 39-yard line. There was no way the youngster was getting away from Caleb.
Exactly. I tell you what, Caleb Randall plays a great defensive end, and a lot of times they'll put him to the wide side of the field, which they're going to do right now. Swap him and Bradley Woodall. So Caleb will be at the defensive end on the wide side of the field.
All right, second down and back to the casino I passed earlier getting here. Line of scrimmage, well, it looks like it's going to be inside the 39, about 38 and a half right here on second and long. Got to get to the other end of the field here. Two receivers to each side of the field here for Greer in the offense. Got a tailback behind him, kind of a semi-pistol formation. Greer back to throw, looks. A little bit of holding right there. There's the penalty marker, and Greer will be dropped at the line of scrimmage. But, Coach, if I'm yelling for a hold, you know it's got to be pretty blatant right there.
It was, the ref really had no choice to throw the flag on that one, because that was pretty pretty obvious. I don't call that a hold. I just call that a good old-fashioned mugging.
Yeah. Vince and Steph and all of them would have been like, that's a good one right there. Citizens National Bank brings you the holding call here this evening, and we will decline the penalty because the result of the play was basically a loss of maybe a half a yard, so that's going to bring up third down and long from just beyond the Winston 38. Yeah, my buddy Drew Rosenbaum, he'd have been coming out of the press box on that. That's a hold! Hope our good buddy Drew is having a good night listening to the broadcast. Hope to see him back real soon. All right, Coach, you going to release the football and throw it here on third down?
Well, I think so.
Yep, they're going to throw it. And Greer's got time. He's going to throw it short, and it's incomplete. Another dangerous throw in and out of the hands of a would-be receiver right there. He had Trip Hill right there, the intended target, but, man, what an ugly drive there it was for Winston. They got sacked, a penalty mixed in, and then a near interception. That's going to be fourth down in punt formation.
If you're Winston, you kind of won't have time to hurry up and get here so you can get back in the locker room and go back to the drawing board because the Lamar defense has been all over everything that they've tried to do.
4:24 to go here in the second quarter, 21-0 Lamar, and that's going to be another infield pop-up. That's a wobbly kick that nearly took out two cheerleaders down here in front of us. And let's see where they mark this thing off. Referee is marking it beyond the 35. He's up to the 40. Oh, I love this. 45. Up to the 45, still going, and he will mark it out at the 46. So it'd be in Lamar territory at the 46. So both punters didn't have clean kicks right there, but Lamar will get back on offense here, 1st and 10 from their own 46. 4:18 to go in the second quarter. Lamar 21, Winston 0.
As you like to say, not his best effort.
Yeah, I got in trouble one year in Montgomery when I said that.
Well,
it was about a 3-yard punt, and I said, not his best effort, first down. I think I've been forgiven since. The statute of limitations has way passed.
I think so.
1st and 10, moving right to left, go the Raiders. And here's the handoff to Sonic here, that being Morrow. And Morrow still on his feet, dragging folks up to near midfield. He'll be cut down at about the 49. I thought Joe was going to be stopped near the line of scrimmage at the 46. But, Coach, we just fight for every inch of grass here tonight.
We sure do. That's all Joe Morrow. The Raiders quickly back to the line of scrimmage. I love this up-tempo, no huddle.
3:55 on a running clock here in the second quarter, 21-0 Raiders. Val back to throw, looks. He's got to throw it, and Val's going to get annihilated back here at the 40-yard line. Coach, that's a young quarterback in a situation, and that's one he'll go back and look at film after the sack back at the 40 and thinks, I should have released the football.
He had Walker Mims running wide open over there, nobody within 10 yards of him. Not sure what he was looking at, but nonetheless, Winston picks up a sack, brings up third down and about 16.
All right, clock, folks, at 3:22 and counting here. Lamar's got all their timeouts, which to me is kind of irrelevant right now. Winston's got one, and Lamar's got the 3-possession lead, 21-0. Third down and a country mile right here for Val in the offense. He's back to throw, and it's going to be a little screen play to Pringle, a nice shoestring tackle. Good tackle out there on the edge by one of the defenders there. That might have been Joyner again. He's been all over the field tonight. May have been Hill. But it's going to be basically no gain and another punt. And, Coach, the game right now is being played between both 40s right now.
You're right. That was a little screen over to Landon Pringle. And you're exactly right. If that young man doesn't make that shoestring tackle, Landon could be running for a little while on that play.
Folks, remember Lamar had the football first tonight. Winston won the toss and deferred, and now Mims is in trouble, and Mims is going to run the football. Mims may get the first down on a bad snap, and he is going to run it down the far sideline. Are you kidding me? Go, Maddox, go! Touchdown, Lamar! Touchdown, Raiders. Folks, when you're living right, dadgummit, you're just living right on a bad ball in the hands of Mims. Sandlot has come to Louisville here tonight as Mims goes somewhat 60-plus yards on a return. It wasn't a fake. It just worked out that way.
I have never
seen that
in my life. Seen that. And
What is that?
I've been around football for well over half of my adult life, and I've never seen that in a high school football game.
He had 3 or 4 defenders coming down on him to block it. He didn't get a good hold on the snap, and he just took off with it and had green and nothing but green in front of him.
Well, the Winston Academy defenders return team had their backs to him because they were going down to set up a wall, and Maddox saw the saw the opening on our sideline and away he went.
Here's Maddox on the kick, and that was basically all Maddox Mims right there on that drive. So with 2:22 to go here in the second quarter, a Sandlot touchdown by Maddox Mims and the Raiders. And on the Will Sweat Alpha Insurance scoreboard, it now reads Lamar 28 and Winston nothing. That touchdown brought to you by Teal Neal Animal Hospital. Back in 30 seconds with more Sandlot football and Lamar football here with Queen City Newsfeed, East Mississippi Sports at 97 OKK. On the fumble recovery, now another flag comes out, and we have got a lot. We have got a lot to hash out right here. A lot.
I never heard a whistle.
I did not.
It was to our side over here where we're located.
All right, we're waiting on this. Harala scooped it up and scored. There was a penalty marker. It was a hold on Winston. There's no doubt about that. But then there was a second marker that came in. So we got a lot to clean up right here. Like I said, the whistle never blown.
I never heard a whistle.
This is a big call here in the ball game because we're neighboring clock territory, if you know what I mean, for the second half. All right, there's the hold on Winston. And what is that?
I have
no
idea what that symbol was. I have never seen that symbol before in my
double
life.
fist bump? What the heck is that?
I have no clue.
Personal foul?
It had to be some sort of personal foul.
He took too much of his lunch. He took too much of his lunch money. What did he do?
That one's new to me. I have no idea what that is.
So the penalties will offset whatever that second was. And Coach Luker's kind of like I am. He's almost beyond the numbers. What the heck was that?
Did Winston call timeout? Because Coach Bird is out on the field, has his team gathered around him.
I didn't see the signal for a timeout either. So the officials kind of not checking some good boxes right here in the ball game. So that will be their third and final timeout. So, folks, it was a holding call, and whatever that second call was, the official, Coach, it looked like to me he took his, when you fist bump somebody,
yeah,
he basically put both of his fists together, and that was the penalty call. What is that?
I have no earthly idea, but they're marking the ball back.
and it's first down Lamar. So Lamar is going to keep possession of the football here because he signaled first down in our direction. So they're going to mark the penalty back here to the Winston 45-yard line. Yeah, their defense is on the field and our offense is on the field. So the penalty happened after the fumble occurred. So whatever it was occurred after the fumble.
But no one blew a whistle. I think the touchdown should stand. But either way, nonetheless, we got the football.
Yeah.
First down and 10 on the 45 with a minute 54 and all 3 of our timeouts.
Yeah, it's not getting on the officials, but mechanically they kind of didn't check a few boxes right there to me. All right, from the 45 for Lamar in Winston territory. Here's Towner cutting it back to the inside. Here goes Kari. Boy, Kari to the left, to the right, up the middle he goes. Inside the 35 down to the Winston 33-yard line. First down Lamar, first down Raiders. Brought to you by David Neal's Express Pharmacy. 1:44. They'll stop the clock momentarily to reset the chains here.
Good job by Kari getting in behind the offensive line, picking up 10, maybe 11 first down for Raiders.
My good buddy Hob Carlton said illegal block in the back. Well, he didn't signal illegal block in the back.
That's not what he
That's not the right signal for it.
Uh-oh.
Here's Kari, and Towner still fighting. Look at the push. Look at this Lamar tush push all the way down inside the 30 to about the 32, 33. Remember, Lamar's got all 3 timeouts here and a $1:20 going here in the second quarter clock.
Timeout. Coach Luker just got his first timeout. Great timeout right here. Got a minute 20 left. We got second down and 5. Plenty of time. No hurry right here.
Well, I hope the Lieutenant Governor's doing good tonight in Hob Carlton, my good buddy. Of course, the governor is on campus here tonight, that being Charlie Ballou. That's my ideal ticket for Mississippi, the Ballou Carlton camp.
Well, I tell you what, they would get my vote. Both of those guys would.
It's not quite political season yet in the state of Mississippi. Hey, qualifying deadline is open, Charlie and Hobbs.
That's
just
right.
saying. All right, folks, we're having a good time tonight here in Louisville from a Lamar standpoint. 28-0 here with 1:20 left to go after Lamar just took their first of 3 timeouts here. Line of scrimmage is going to be just a shade inside of the Winston 28-yard line. It'll bring up second down and a long 4 coming up as soon as play resumes here. Of course, we'll have your halftime report coming up in just moments, brought to you by Madison Road Gallery by Woodstock, and we'll check on some of the other MAIS scores here tonight. Of course, MRA opening up their season up in Tennessee tonight against Ravenwood. That's a big one. And, of course, we talked about Simpson and Leak earlier. I got a lot of scores we'll get to coming up at the halftime break.
We need to punch this in right here, go up 35 at the half so this clock will run the second half and get out of here.
All right, so when play resumes here, you're going to have Mayette to the near side, Harala and Pringle to the far side. Mims is the H-back. And here is the handoff to Towner, and Towner like a pinball again inside the 25 down to near the 21. Move those chains again, boys. First down Lamar, first down Raiders, powered by David Neal's Express Pharmacy. And I tell you what, the Winston defense, they are gassed.
They are gassed right now. And I tell you what, Kari Towner is just, he's like a bowling ball, like you said last week, just a bowling ball. Once he gets ahead of steam going north and south, he's hard to bring down. Clock is running with a minute 3 left to go here in the second quarter.
Yep, we just got under 1 minute now. Clock is running with under a minute. First and 10 just beyond the red zone at the 21. Val back to throw, releases the football deep down the field, and it is caught. Touchdown, Lamar! Touchdown, Raiders! How in the world did Harala catch that? Over 2 defenders. Val puts another one on the money, and Lamar is coming up aces here tonight. 34-0 on another Teal Newell Animal Hospital touchdown.
Good throw by Cade, but an even better catch by Hamp Harala.
Wow. I think, folks, Cade Val's coming out party as the QB for the Raiders has just occurred here tonight on the 21st day of August, 2026.
Need a good snap, good hold here, and good kick and put this thing at 35.
Because, folks, remember the MAIS rules when you get to 35 into the second half, the clock never stops. It just goes. The mercy rule. Kick is up, and yes, sir.
No,
he missed it.
He pushed it left.
We jinxed him, Coach.
He pushed it left.
I'll let Maddox hear about that later. He's like, Coach, I hooked it, so. We'll keep things right here with 47 seconds remaining here until halftime. Of course, we'll pay off a lot of our sponsors coming up at the halftime break. But, Coach, what an impressive first half of football. If that's the worst thing that happens all night is a missed PAT, you can live with that.
You're definitely right on that. I tell you what, Kay Vowell has been really impressed tonight. He had one bad throw. that got an interception, but Winston never scored off of that. But that last throw to Hal Perala, that was just incredible. Great throw. Hal Perala just climbed the ladder and said, "No, sir, boys, this is mine."
Folks, I'm telling you, Val, impressive. He only threw it 8 times last week. He was 6 of 8 last week. But some of these throws he's making tonight, take the interception off the board. That was just a mistake. It was a poor throw. I know Pops would probably say that next door. It was just a poor throw. But you know what? Beyond that, pretty sharp.
Pretty sharp. He's done a great job tonight. He did a great job last week managing the offense. We didn't turn the ball over at all last week, and when you don't turn the ball over and you stay ahead of the sticks, good things are going to happen.
Well, Coach Luker said in the preseason when we talked, he loved his skill position group. He loved his wide receiver room. And it's not just Harala. He's connected with Brody. He's connected with Pringle. He's connected with both the Mims boys. He's distributing the ball all over the field. He's not just one favorite target. He's giving everybody the ball here tonight.
Well, the loss of Robert Gardner, that hurts tremendously. But it's like you said, we have a lot of depth at these skill positions. So tonight, Kay's done a good job distributing the football to all these receivers.
Well, I finally got somebody that got us straight on that call. The Ronnie Key just got us straight. He said it was a blind side block is what he could tell. I've never seen the signal like that before.
I haven't either. I didn't know what that was.
But, hey, you know what? That's in the past now. From the 10 comes the return here by Winston, and, boy, we just shook a block and just ate his lunch right there at the 20-yard line on the return. Everybody in a white jersey is just playing at a different level here tonight.
That was Cormac Delaney on that tackle for the kickoff team for Lamar.
And, Coach, I told someone the other day, remember that name.
Yes,
He's going to be special down the road. Cormac Delaney, I remember calling his name a bunch at junior high last year on the PA, and Cormac's going to be something special down the road for us.
He really is. He's a tremendous athlete. Does a great job. Plays one of our defensive back positions for us.
I doubt Coach Bird's going to press the issue here.
I wouldn't think so either. Just hand this thing off and get out of here.
Yeah, they're going to hand it off right up the middle. Woodall was there to meet him in the hole there for a minimal gain of maybe a yard or two. And with 30 seconds and counting to go here in the second quarter, they don't have to snap it anymore because the play clock is a handful of seconds behind the game clock here.
If I'm Coach Bird, I just go to the locker room. I don't take any chances here.
And it looks like that may be the case here as he's kind of looking at the clock along with us. It's at 13, 12, 11, 10, and, yep, I think we're going to head to the locker room right here.
I think so.
As Lamar is already making their way toward the dressing room. And, folks, what a first half for your Lamar Raiders, thanks to Vowell. Cade Vowell with some big throws in the ball game, good defense, good rushing, just a little bit of everything tonight, even some sandlot football in the mix as well. So your score at the halftime break is Lamar 34. Winston, a big 0 up on the board. We'll take a couple of minutes, 2 minutes down the line here, and we'll return in moments here on 97 OKK.
Why dream about the perfect recliner when you can dream in the Z-Cliner by FlexSteel from Woodstock Furniture? The only chair designed for sleep, featuring stain-proof fabric, techno-gel head pillow, built-in heat and massage, pressure point relief zones, FlexSteel's patented blue steel springs, and for those who need it, the quiet power lift function. All Z-Cliners are in stock, so you can buy it today and get it today. Come see why we're your low-price leader at Woodstock Furniture, Meridian, Philadelphia, and WoodstockValueCenter.com.
97 OKK brings Meridian together with the best country hits, local news, and community events. Enjoy favorite personalities and contests all day long. 97 OKK, the soundtrack to your day.
Stay informed with Queen City Newsfeed, Meridian's trusted source for timely news and weather alerts. Get breaking updates and community highlights. Follow us on Facebook or visit queencitynewsfeed.com today.
folks, Lamar leading it 34-0. You heard it, 34-0. And, Coach, I was catching up on my text messages. Everybody's checking in tonight on the broadcast. Appreciate you folks out there, by the way, supporting the broadcast. Really do. I've heard from a lot of good friends watching it all over the place here tonight, whether it be on YouTube, Facebook, listening to it on radio, app, wherever. We're blows me away of how many ways you can do this now, because I remember having to plug into a landline telephone years ago because I still got the line right there. I've been using the same piece of equipment for years, but Coach, appreciate everybody out there tuning in tonight.
You're exactly right. It means a lot to us as broadcasters. It means a lot to Lamar School also. So appreciate everybody tuning in and listening.
Absolutely. And, of course, you've been watching all of our sponsors scroll at the bottom of the screen here tonight, as well as we're enjoying a lot of our dance and cheer here tonight. Of course, those young ladies, got to give them their flowers as well. They have done a phenomenal job getting ready for their season as well. Of course, they're about to head to competition here pretty soon, too.
I think coming up in maybe a month or a little less.
It's funny, folks, if you could you'll probably see this on the as soon as our dance and cheer get done. We'll probably be on camera here coming up in just a moment. So we look like a couple of drenched rats that just came from the sewer, and we're standing so far back here because the visiting coaches have a window unit, and the temperature on that window unit says 60 degrees, and we're both standing right here in the back of this doorway, and I can feel that Antarctic air coming through right here. The coaches are spoiled in there tonight.
Yeah, I like it. If it was me, I'd have it a little bit lower. We'd be throwing snowballs at me.
It is a very muggy night as the Raider cheer team doing their thing right now. And, folks, a lot of things happening at Lamar this week. If you missed the pregame show earlier tonight, of course, football-wise, we're winning 34-0 here at the half, but I want to highlight some of our other sports here at the halftime break. Do want to thank Coach Courtney Schimmelfinning for the invite this year, Coach. I'm now doing PA out at volleyball now, and they had a split this week. They lost in 5 sets to Hartfield back on Tuesday. But last night they rebounded with a 3-0 win over MRA last night. Very impressive win for the volleyball team last night.
Well, you're exactly right. I'm proud of those girls, and they are over, I think, around Hoover, Alabama.
Yeah.
Playing tonight and maybe tomorrow. I'm not sure exactly when, but they left school today, headed over to Hoover, Alabama, and I'm sure they will make Lamar proud, as they always do.
Yeah, I want to tell you one thing about that tournament there in Hoover. I was checking the schedule for that earlier today. It's a who's who of who's going to be down there. I mean, all the big schools in Mississippi, Alabama, I mean, you name it, they're all down there. But I tell you what, Courtney's done a marvelous job. Of course, her husband, Alex, the assistant. Of course, I picked on Alex last night. He was keeping the score, and he made the comment, because Alex is the head coach at MCC, obviously. He just started up that program a couple of years ago. He said, I wonder if Courtney's going to do that for me at my games. And I said, probably not.
Probably not. No, probably won't do that.
So we're up here on camera. As you can see, we're standing so far back here. We got this window unit. We're kind of hogging the air right now, but we got an open air press box here. But I tell you what, appreciate Winston Academy for having us here tonight up here in the broadcast booth. But Coach, let's go back and look at this ball game. 34-0. We got the ball first, and it was a very lengthy drive, methodical pass run, 4 for 4 on third downs.
That's the key right there. Yeah. 4 for 4 on third down. Good things happen, like I said, when you stay ahead of the sticks. Offensively, we've done everything we needed to do tonight.
So you had Towner getting the end zone. You've had Morrow getting the end zone again. But the story for me is Cade Vowell.
Absolutely.
This has been his night, folks. We've talked about the change at quarterback. Cade got his first start last week. He went 6 of 8 last week. And this week, the precision of some of these throws has really impressed me. He is throwing it to a level. The one to Harala was the most impressive.
That was very impressive throw. He threw that, and I give credit to Winston. They had Hamp covered pretty good, but Cade threw it in the perfect place. Hamp went up and got it.
And of course, Lamar had their first turnover of the year earlier. It was an interception after we had got a fumble recovery. I say we, that being Lamar. But just a bad throw, and I think Cade would tell you that. Everybody would say that. But I like his moxie and the way he bounced back from that.
Yes, winners always want the ball, and, he threw that interception. You're right. Didn't seem to bother him. He come back out the next drive. Boom, boom, boom. Here we go.
talk about the offensive line. That's your area right there. I know we've had a couple of small little leaks in the boat, but it's nothing that's kind of put us in harm's way, obviously, tonight.
That's right. And, those the big uglies, as I like to call them, they're going to miss a block here and there, but so far so good. I've been really impressed with those guys. There's a lot of youth up there, Robbie, a lot of youth, and that speaks volumes for years to come.
I got to go back to two guys. I hate singling guys out because I know you want to talk about everybody, but two guys that just jump out to me on defense, Caleb Randall, flies everywhere on the football, and Cormac Delaney. I want to talk about Cormac for just a moment because I talked about him toward the tail end of the second quarter. Junior high last year when they won that district championship, he was a big key in that last year. He played both sides of the football, playing mainly defense this year in the secondary. But, man, he's a name to watch out for.
He really is. He's a good athlete. He's very coachable, and that's one thing the coaches really like about him because I've been in the meetings with these coaches, and somehow or another, Cormac's name always seems to get brought up and how coachable he is and how he does the right things.
So when we go back and look at this overall, obviously, folks, if you're not familiar with the MAIS rules, Lamar has to get to that 35 threshold. We missed the extra point there toward the tail end of the second quarter. We just kind of shanked that ball to the left a little bit, so we'll have to score at least one more time. And if and when that happens, it'll be a running clock the rest of the night.
That's right. And, 34-0, I would just expect Coach Luker and Coach Norwood just to come out and hand that thing off and, let's get out of here.
All right, folks, just a reminder on the broadcast, no ball game next week. We're going to be off next week. Week 3 bye. I don't know how to wrap my mind around that.
That's very unusual. Very unusual.
So we're going to have not one bye but 2 byes this year.
That's right.
We got one in week 3 and then one a little bit later on in the year. But we'll be at Wayne Academy in 2 weeks down in Waynesboro. Short little drive down 45 to go see the Jaguars. And of course they've had a little bit of a slow start to the year. But I think they're playing Columbia tonight. But we'll see them in a couple of weeks. So we'll be Road Warriors in 2 weeks' time.
The Columbia game, that'll be a good test for Wayne Academy tonight because Coach Hawkins and his staff at Columbia does a phenomenal job. So I'll be interested to see how Columbia and Wayne do tonight.
I do want to get some scores for you. I've been getting a lot of messages here tonight. At halftime, Leake Academy leads Simpson 21-6. So Leake leads Simpson 21-6. That game is in the pit tonight in Mendenhall. And I was talking to someone earlier this week about this, Coach. If Simpson goes 0-2, both of those at home,
yes,
that's not going to go well down in Simpsonville.
No, that's right, because those folks are very passionate fan base, and they're not used to losing down there.
I heard from my buddy Philip Palmtree over at MRA. They're up in Nashville tonight. Ravenwood, Tennessee leads MRA 16-7. MRA, they schedule heavy.
Yes,
they go out of state, and that's a big test. Obviously, Jacob Land, our former head coach, is now the OC there at MRA, and of course, a pretty big test to open up the year.
Yeah, exactly right. That's going to be a big time game for MRA and Ravenwood. And if I'm not mistaken, isn't Coach Davis's son the offensive coordinator?
He certainly is, Hayden Davis.
That's what I thought.
I love them keeping that game on the schedule. And I tell you what, if you've never had a chance to visit with those two coaches, they are one in a million, folks. They are phenomenal guys, and father versus son.
Well, can you imagine the conversation at the dinner table? The week of the game. I'm pretty sure there's not a lot of talking back and forth between those two.
I will say one thing about Herbert Davis, folks, and I mean this from here. He is one of my favorite people in high school football. He's a good man. He's gone through a lot personally with his health, but good to see him still out on the sidelines for sure. So
he had a kidney transplant a year or so ago, and he's doing well.
Another score to pass over to you. Hartfield Academy, a team we'll see later on in the year at Gray Cobb Field. They're leading 14-7 at halftime against Washington School this evening. So, like I said, very early scores here. And Tri-County, a little upset from their state championship loss a year ago. They lead Canton 36-0 at the break.
Well, Tri-County is like a well-oiled machine.
Yes.
They've won no telling how many state championships, and they played for no telling how many in a row.
Yeah.
And, of course, Leake got the best of them last year in the state championship game. And I tell you what, when Leake and Tri-County play this year, I'm not sure where the game is at, but you better get there early because you're going to have a standing room only crowd.
Absolutely, no doubt about that. And, of course, we have a lot of other area teams back at home in Meridian playing like preseason games tonight. I know we mentioned earlier just up the road from us here, Meridian High School is playing at the Louisville Jamboree, and I know they have the Lauderdale County Jamboree back at West Lauderdale tonight. But we do want to put a plug in for all of our broadcasts if we can real quick. I want to do that. Of course, you got Lamar football here on OKK, and, of course, all of our other digital platforms. West Lauderdale over on Q101. They'll start their broadcast next Friday at Seminary. And, of course, you've got Meridian High. They'll be going on the road next Thursday to Ocean Springs.
Wow, that should be a good football game.
That's going to be a tough one down there on the coast. But, of course, they play those ball games over on 95.1 The Beat. And stay up to date with everything going on with high school football. I'm now doing a podcast every week on East Mississippi Sports and Queen City Newsfeed, myself and Cash Matlock breaking down the ball games. So we've got you covered every which way we can with high school football this fall.
I saw a little bit of your podcast on social media the other day. Y'all did a great job with that.
Yeah, he made a hair joke, and I didn't take too well to it. So
well,
I said,
I didn't hear that part of it. So
he said my hair got bigger, and I said, you always got to go with hair jokes, so because it's gone. So, but do appreciate what Cash does with Queen City Newsfeed. But we'll be doing that weekly throughout the season. Keep you up to date on everything. Scores on Friday nights. We'll be posting all those. We're keeping you plugged in all year.
Well, we appreciate it. As a fan, we appreciate it, I can assure you.
Well, folks, we're going to step away here on the broadcast, catch our breath a little bit, but you're listening to the radio broadcast on OKK. Of course, our halftime update is being brought to you by the Madison Road Gallery by Woodstock. We're going to catch our breath 2 minutes down the line. When we return, we'll get you teed up for the third quarter. Lamar having a good night. 34-0 back in moments here on Queen City Newsfeed, East Mississippi Sports, and 97 OKK.
Market Showroom Sample Sellout. Hundreds of name brand quality market samples purchased at pennies on the dollar, and that's exactly what you'll pay. Living room, bedroom, dinettes, recliners, mattresses, and more, all at wholesale prices or below. But you do need to hurry while selections last. Credit terms are available even at these unheard of prices. Market Showroom Sellout at Woodstock Furniture in Meridian and Philadelphia or WoodstockValueCenter.com.
Stay informed with Queen City Newsfeed, Meridian's trusted source for timely news and weather alerts. Get breaking updates and community highlights. Follow us on Facebook or visit QueenCityNewsFeed.com today.
97 OKK brings Meridian together with the best country hits, local news, and community events. Enjoy favorite personalities and contests all day long. 97 OKK, the soundtrack to your day.
All right, folks, welcome back to a muggy Louisville, Mississippi, as we're getting ready to go here in just a few moments here in the second half of play here with Lamar leading it comfortably 34-0. And I think both teams are trying to get every ounce of air they can get before they come out of the locker room, as I haven't seen the players out yet. Coach Madden got one more score to pass along to you here. Actually, two. I got on this scoreboard thread that somebody put me on. I'm getting scores all over the place. Halftime score, Pillow Academy 39, Heritage 15.
Wow, that's one I did not see coming.
I think a lot of folks are surprised by that one. Also, Bayou Academy and Greenville St. Joe, 14-12 at the break in favor of Bayou right there. So surprised by any of these scores tonight? That one, the Heritage was the big one.
The Heritage really surprised me. That's really the only one that I'm really shocked at. The Leak Simpson score, that's not surprising. The MRA Ravenwood score, that's not real surprising. I'd like to know how Prep and UMS Wright are doing tonight.
Yeah, I'll
playing
check
at
on that.
Jackson Prep.
Yeah, I'll have to check on that one. Prep opening up their season. Of course, our meat grinder of a schedule. We'll see Prep later on in the year. Prep and Hartfield back-to-back weeks. That's going to be a pretty tough assignment for the Raiders, but that's way down the road.
That's way down the road. A lot of people have Hartfield picked to be the #1 academy team in the state. Haven't seen them play, don't know a whole lot about them, but I do know Prep and JA are going to be right there neck and neck with them, and don't ever count MRA out with Coach Davis.
Well, we know the Big Four in Jackson, it's going to be a dogfight.
It is.
Hartfield, Prep, JA, MRA, well, Big Five, Hartfield, throw them in there too.
Any of those teams can beat the other one on any given night.
Yeah. So when we say meat grinder, just have that on your schedule right there. That's pretty tough.
That's right. Now, a bye later on in the year would be great if we could get it between Hartfield and Prep.
Yeah, no doubt about it. All right, teams have finally made their way out of the locker room. We're going to get the ball going here in just a few moments. Do want to thank the Madison Road Gallery by Woodstock Furniture for helping us with our halftime show here tonight. Appreciate Woodstock and their support all season long. Also want to thank our video sponsors here before we break away here with halftime. Appreciate the Insurance Center along with Cash Savers by Val's and Val's Marketplace, and also our good friends at Woodstock. Appreciate them being on the video side of things this year. Of course, Queen City News Feed on YouTube, Facebook, and, of course, East Mississippi Sports on Facebook as well. The OKK app, 97OKK.com. On the radio dial. Coach, you're living big in prime time.
Well, I just appreciate the opportunity to share the broadcast booth with you, man. I enjoy it. It's a tremendous honor for me, and I just hope that I maybe can get a few more of these in the future.
That's right. Somebody asked me today how many years you been doing this, and I had to go. I was like 26. So the Lord's been good to me for sure.
Well, the Lord's been good to all of us, more than we actually deserve. I can assure you that.
Absolutely. Well, Lamar's out here stretching, and Winston, they're over here to our right as we're about to get going here, as they've already reset the clock here to begin the third quarter, as Lamar will be on defense to start out the second half here.
Well, the key for me the second half, obviously, is to get Winston off the field, three downs, and get them off the field, get the ball back, go down, punch it in, get this clock running so we can get out of here, and hopefully no one else will get hurt, because we can't afford anybody else to get hurt. We got 2 out already not playing tonight with Robert Gardner and Briggs Calvert.
Tell you what, Coach, we talked about these two head coaches in this ball game tonight. Of course, Coach Pat Bird, this is his 8th year at Winston Academy. Of course, he's amassed well over 140 wins. And, of course, Coach Luker, great career over in Alabama. He just picked up his first Lamar football win, but a Hall of Famer over in Alabama. And just talking to Coach Luker earlier this week, I think he really likes Coach Bird and what he's done here at Winston. And he's developing some pretty good relationships. We just wanted to mention Coach Pat Bird and Coach Stacy Luker real quick.
Well, Coach Bird does a tremendous job here at Winston Academy. And Coach Luker, I talked about him last week. I can't say enough good things about him. And I was at the Mug Shots coaching show the other night, and you had told me that Coach Luker probably wasn't going to have a whole lot to say, and he really didn't have a whole lot to say, but I tell you what, we had a good time.
Yeah, Monday was a great time. Of course, the next time you can meet the football team at Mug Shots will be on August the 31st. So no coaches show this Monday, but we'll all meet up on the 31st at 6:30 that night for another edition of the Stacy Luker Coaches Show.
Well, if you get a chance, come out to Mug Shots. It's a great environment. Trey Gamble and his staff do an outstanding job at Mug Shots. And the other night was my first one to attend, and I enjoyed it tremendously. It was nice to see Coach Luker and all the coaches and families, everybody out there enjoying some good food and talking some football.
Yeah, every time I visit with Stacy Luker, I just leave with a smile on my face. I feel better about life. Folks, just come out and meet the ball coach. He's a great conversationalist. And what was funny the other day is I came by his office Wednesday and just a peek behind the curtain here. We pre-record our interview with Coach Luker on Wednesdays, and he told me, says, "Sir, text me the night before to remind me." I did that. I didn't text him on Wednesday morning. I'm in his office, got everything set up, and waiting on him. I texted him. I said, "Coach, I'm in your office." He said, "Dang it, I'll be right there." And he said, "Now you're going to have to send me one on Wednesdays too." But folks, he is a golden guy. I think we have become fast friends already.
He is a tremendous man, great coach, and I just enjoy my time I'm around him also.
All right, folks, Lamar kicking the ball away. His third quarter activity is underway as Maddox Mims will put the ball down into, well, it's going to kill right at the 3-yard line. Wow, when it's going bad for Winston as they jump on the football. Actually, it was back inside the 10 at the 8. Wow. They thought it was going to go into the end zone, Coach, and it just took like a golf shot on the green, just kind of kicked up and stayed right there at the 8-yard line.
I'm not sure if a little miscommunication between the Patriot receivers back there, but neither one of them was really interested in getting the football, and I'm like you, I think they thought it was going in the end zone.
Well, one thing I'm happy about being here tonight at Patriot Field, I've only heard that train horn maybe once or twice down there.
That train horn could get annoying.
But tonight, it's been all Lamar, 34-0 as we have opened up the third quarter here tonight in Louisville. The freshman quarterback Greer is in the shotgun, and they're going to hand it off down here to the near side. A little bit of running room across the 15 to the 20. Whoa, it took one shoestring tackle by the Raiders. I think Mayat may have got him, and one other Raider there held him up to the 22. That's going to be a first down for Winston.
If Mayat and Kipton Ware hadn't have been there, that young man was going to the house.
I would say first really good run into the teeth of that Lamar defense. And as I say it, we hear the train horn again. That's better than a cannon.
Yes. Folks, I'm telling you, if you go to Wayne in a couple of weeks, bring you some earplugs because that cannon is loud.
Here's the handoff to the far side, and this time we're going to hold the back to maybe the line of scrimmage right there. Had basically a wall of Raiders over there to get the hands on Trenton Rhodes right there, the 10th grade running back for about a yard gain up to about the 23-yard line.
Good job by the defensive line for the Lamar School Raiders right there. Held the running back to a gain of 1, brings up second down and 9. We have big Brett Calvert anchoring the nose position.
All right, folks, we're 1 minute deep into the third quarter here. Greer is going to run a little option play. Late pitch over on that edge, and, boy, we met him. We met Rhodes over there and then some. That was a very late pitch on the option. That's going to be a loss back to near the 20-yard line, and whoever laid the lick on the back, he laid a good one.
He sure did. I think that was a business decision there by that quarterback to get rid of that football. Good job by the Raiders stringing that out, losing some yards, brings up now third down and 11.
Like I said, it was on that far end of the field. The last guy I saw was Mayat. He was in the neighborhood. I don't know if he laid the lick, but he was near it. Third and 11 now from around the 20-yard line in Winston territory. They're going to hand it off up the gut, and not much, maybe 2 or 3. Pick your Raider. There was a whole wall of them in there, including about 3 or 4 more from the linebacking positions, and that's maybe 2 yards and fourth down. And that's going to be just one first down out of this opening drive for Winston. They're going to have to punt it away.
Great job by the Raider defense there. Even though we did give up a first down on the initial play of the second half, good job by the Raiders stopping them, bringing up fourth down and 1.
All right, you got 2 Raiders back here at their own 40-yard line waiting the return. I see Morrow and Harala getting ready on the return here. We've come close to blocking a few of these tonight.
It would be a block punt would be great right here.
Jordan is the punter, standing back in the neighborhood of his 10-yard line, and a late substitution here for Winston.
Winston better watch the play clock.
They just get the snap away. Here's the kick. It's an end-over-end kick that will go toward the far end of the field and go out of bounds. Pretty good kick there by Jordan as he will kick it out of bounds inside of the Lamar 40 to about the 37-yard line. So here comes Cade Val in the offense. First and 10, up 34-0 with 9:27 remaining in the third quarter.
That's a good job by the Patriot punt team there, kicking it away from Joe and Ridge, and not Ridge. I won't say Ridge or Raleigh. That's Hamp's cousin. But anyway, good job by the Patriot punt team.
All right, so Val will bring the offense back out, and Coach, I'm kind of like you. I think it's going to be a lot of ground and pound right here, and eat clock, try to get this next touchdown and get into a clock game here tonight.
What's their nickname? Knuckles and Sonic?
Knuckles and Sonic.
Well, I say let's give it to Knuckles and Sonic.
Well, Knuckles is in the ball game here. He's the lone back next to Cade Vowell in the shotgun. Mims is your H-back with 3 receivers, 2 to the far side, 1 to the near side from the far hash mark at the 37. Here's a pitch play on the speed sweep right here to Max Mims. Mims has got some running room, 50, 45. He's inside Winston territory. Late flag comes in, and he's going to be wrestled out of bounds at the 40-yard line. This may be a hold on the Raiders on this edge, powered by Citizens National Bank.
I believe they're going to get Brody Mayat for a hold. That was a good job by Maddox Mims getting the corner. Excellent job blocking there by Corey Towner.
All right, so we'll wait on the official call here, but pretty sure it was a hold on the edge here like we saw it. And that's exactly going to be the call right here against Lamar.
Brody might would have got away with it if he hadn't pushed him or slung him to the ground right there. A lot of times those officials will let that go as long as you keep your hands on the inside and not on the outside.
It is going to be a spot foul, so it's going to bring up, what, 1st and 5?
1st and 5, yes.
Penalty marked off down to the
Looks like 43-yard line here on the near hash mark for Vowell in the offense. Cade waiting on the snap here. Low snap here, just cover it up, and that's what Vowell does very smartly, and that's going to be about a 4-yard loss. So, like I said, there's been a couple of hiccups tonight, not many, but that's going to be a low snap, 2nd and 9.
Great job by Cade just falling on the football. Don't try to pick it up. Don't try to do anything fancy. Just fall on it, live to fight another day, brings up 2nd down and about 9.
Under 9 minutes to go, clock running here in the 3rd quarter. Lamar 34 and Winston 0. Good second ball game here for the Raiders on this young season. Towner in the backfield on 2nd down and 9 here. Foul takes the snap. They're going to hand it off to Knuckles here, and Towner didn't get much. They kind of read that one pretty good and gobbled him up for maybe a 2-yard gain, and that's going to bring up 3rd down and around 8.
Credit Patriot defense there. They just stopped. They just stuffed every hole there was for Carr to try to run through. Picked up maybe a yard at the most, brings up 3rd down and about 8.
34-0, folks, on the Will Sweat Alpha Insurance scoreboard. Will Lamar throw it here? That's the question. I know we ran the football a pretty good bit here to open up this first possession of the 3rd quarter. I'd probably stick it on the ground too here.
Well, if they throw it, look for a screen.
Well, Vowell will release it. There is the screen. We dropped it. Maddox Mims dropped his screen play. He dropped it just beyond the 40. Good play call, just didn't execute it, and that's going to be a drop pass, and that'll be 4th down, and that's going to bring in Maddox into punt right here.
That was a good throw by Cade. Maddox just took his eye off the ball there and wanted to turn upfield and run with it before he caught it. But nonetheless, brings up 4th down and about 8 for the Raiders, and we're sending in Maddox Mims to do the punting.
Of course, Briggs Calvert handled those duties last week. Of course, he's going to be on the shelf for at least a couple of weeks with that arm injury. Hope to have him back maybe for the Wayne game. Here's the kick by Mims. It is a good end-over-end kick that's going to check up and be caught. I think James Ross came in there and snagged that thing away at about the 31, 32-yard line. So that's where Winston will set up shop 1st and 10 with Lamar leading at 34-0. 7:42 to go here in the 3rd quarter.
That's a good punt by Maddox, but an even better job by James Ross. That ball had hit the ground and was bouncing back toward the original line of scrimmage, and James Ross just picked it up and gave it to the officials.
All right, so here comes the youngster, Paxton Greer. This is the 9th grade quarterback, and, Coach, it's been a tough night for him.
This young man's going to sleep really good tonight.
He has been knocked around left and right here tonight. He really got walloped on one of those option plays earlier. He's back to throw this time. He's going to release the football across the middle. Good-looking throw this time. That is caught all the way down to the Lamar 33-yard line. I say he's having a tough night. Then he reverses that and puts one on the money down the field for a big-time passing catch. The receiver down there was Kingsley Ashford, who's been extremely quiet tonight, but he makes his first big explosive play.
That was a great throw by the Winston Academy quarterback. Got to give him credit. I think we had a little blown coverage there on the back end of that, but that's okay. Things like that are going to happen early in the season.
That's right. 1st and 10 in Lamar territory down to the 33-yard line. Here is the handoff, and not much to do, but nothing right there. That's going to be no gain on the play. Pick your Raider. Looks like Woodall was the first youngster to get out of the pile there for Lamar defensively. How about Bradley Woodall tonight?
Bradley Woodall's doing a great job at his defensive end, and there's our man, Caleb Randall, coming out of the bottom of that pile with another tackle.
Well, I was Coach Luker talked so greatly about Caleb Randall, and I was kind of wondering who was going to be that guy in the interior to kind of step up and be that leader. I think we all know who that guy is right now. That's Caleb Randall.
Caleb Randall. He's a good football player, and he's a really good kid.
They did give him 1 yard on that last play. Here's a little reverse play. A lot of window dressing is going to equal a big play down inside the 20, down to the 18. Folks, they had a lot of folks moving around in the backfield, kind of a reverse kind of speed sweep type play with a lot of folks in the backfield, and that's going to be another first down in the red zone for Winston. They got something going here.
Yes, they do. That's a nice job by the Winston Academy offense there. Good play call by their offensive staff.
All right, so at about the 18-yard line. So this is the first big sustainable drive of the night here for the Patriots.
Double wing formation here.
Yeah, don't say the wing too much. Going to hand it off up the middle, and boy, Lamar has just been feasting in the middle of their defense. That's going to be maybe a yard gain on the play, with Lamar leading at 34-0 as we approach 6 minutes to go here in the third quarter, as it'll be second and, well, we'll call it 9 here for Winston.
You got to think that Coach Bird and his staff are setting something up here with this double wing formation. That's what they were in a couple of plays ago when the wingback came around on the little reverse or trap and broke it for a long game. So got to stay at home on defense, especially on the outside linebackers and defensive ends.
All right, we got a heat break on the broadcast here. We got a timeout on the field. We'll take a timeout as well. Lamar leading it here in the third quarter, 34-0, with just under 6 minutes to play in the third stanza. Back in 30 seconds here with Queen City Newsfeed and 97 OKK.
Why dream about the perfect recliner when you can dream in the Z-Cliner by FlexSteel from Woodstock Furniture? The only chair designed for sleep, featuring stain-proof fabric, techno-gel head pillow, built-in heat and massage, pressure point relief zones, FlexSteel's patented blue steel springs, and for those who need it, the quiet power lift function. All Z-Cliners are in stock, so you can buy it today and get it today. Come see why we're your low-price leader at Woodstock Furniture, Meridian, Philadelphia, and WoodstockValueCenter.com. Why dream about the perfect...
Here from Louisville, 34-0 Lamar leading it here after a heat break on the field. We got 5:58 to go here in the third quarter. Winston will have it in the red zone, second down and 9 at about the 18. Kind of a fumbled snap right there, but Winston will hang on to the possession of the football. And somehow, some way, that running back down there on that edge kind of lost his number there on that edge. And, wow, we had 5 shirts there. Couldn't get him down. That's a nice gainer.
That was a good play there for Winston Academy. They were in the old wishbone formation again, had a receiver split to each side. Nothing fancy. Just give it to your running back, get him around the left side over there, pick up first down, make it first down and goal.
Well, I think at this point in the ball game here with Lamar in command, 34-0, Winston's trying to find any kind of building block to kind of go on for their ball game next week, for sure.
Same formation.
All right, same formation. All those folks in the backfield. Here's the handoff. I would say maybe the fullback right there got it, but very short gain. He's still running with it. Boy, it's a scrum, a rugby scrum inside the 10. And finally, everybody is done playing that one. It's going to be a gainer close to the 5 maybe. And that's going to be a gain of 3 yards and a lot of pushing and shoving on the back end of that thing.
That's like you said, pick your raider on that. That was the good old-fashioned rugby scrum there. Got to be disciplined right here on the ends if you're defensive ends and outside linebackers.
Second down and goal from the 5 now for Winston as they're trying to get their first points of the evening with Lamar leading at 34-0 in third quarter play here as we're now officially at 5 minutes to go here in the third quarter. The young freshman Greer in the shotgun here. Same formation they've been running. Now the ball is free, and Lamar's going to recover it. Bad exchange. All that window dressing kind of went for you-know-what, and Lamar's going to scoop it up defensively. Couldn't see who came out there with a fumble recovery. Doesn't matter. He's got the right shirt on, and Lamar scoops up another turnover, and Winston, coach, their first big promising drive of the night, and then the miscommunication on the snap goes to the turf.
Goes by the wayside. You know, that's got to be disheartening for Winston because they had taken the ball and methodically driven it down the field, made some great plays offensively, and then, like you said, mishandled the handoff between the quarterback and the running back there.
All right, so Lamar will get possession of the football. It's going to be at around the 8-yard line, somewhere in that neighborhood, moving right to left here on the broadcast now with 4:55 to go in the third quarter. Lamar in the driver's seat, 34-0.
Look, this is a little different formation for us here.
Well, this is a little different. Not familiar with this. Here's the handoff to Sonic. Here's Morrow. Morrow into the second level now, beyond the 15, out to near the 20-yard line. That's a gain of 12. First down Lamar, first down Raiders, powered by David Neal's Express Pharmacy as Sonic booms up the middle.
Just get in behind that big old offensive line, and we call him Little Joe Morrow, but he doesn't run real small. It doesn't take a big crack for him. Once he sees a crack, he's gone.
All right, so yeah, they marked him down right around the 20, somewhere in that neighborhood. From the far hash mark, here is Morrow again, and Joe is going to get upended just shy of the 25. They might have marked him at about the 23. That'll be a gain of just over 3 yards. But, Coach, most importantly, clock is running. You've got control, 34-0 as we approach 4:20 to go in the third quarter.
Good tackle there by Winston Academy, because I'm not sure if he doesn't make that tackle, I'm not sure Joe Morrow may still be running.
Tell you what, the balance tonight.
Yes.
Throwing and running.
Yes.
I know it was all about the rushing attack last week, but this week a little more balanced. Here's the 2nd and 7 play. Here's the handoff to Morrow. Morrow, once again, big yards and gets shoved ahead. They shoved him ahead for an extra 5-6 yards. First down beyond the 30 for the Raiders, powered by David Neal's Express Pharmacy. Wow. Joe hung onto the ball and got shoved ahead 5 yards.
Nothing fancy. Just get in behind your pulling guard again and get in behind Walker Mims, who was on the H-back on the far side of the field. Just follow your 2 guys and pick up the yards for the first down.
From the 32-yard line, this kind of reminds me of that fourth quarter Simpson drive last week. At least the start of it. Here's Morrow, another carry, and stays on his feet beyond the 35 up to about the 37. Boy, there's a lot of frustration on that Winston defense right now. I saw Kingsley Ashford a little upset right there. Lamar is just kind of peeling them apart right here.
4 or 5 yards of crack. That's, Coach Luker's loving this right here.
Oh, this is his football. This is his style right here. Second down, I'll call it a long 5 right here, just beyond the 37. Ross at the H-back. Hands it off to Morrow behind the block of Ross and couldn't quite get the edge over there. A couple of Patriots came in to knock Morrow off his sticks over there at around the 40.5, and that's going to bring up third down in about 2 or 3.
Good job by the Winston defense there, not allowing Joe Morrow to get the corner over there. Third down and about 3.
2:50 and counting here in the third quarter. Lamar 34, Winston 0. Third down and a handful right here, and now Knuckles will check back in, that being Kari Towner, so you know what might be happening here. A little thunder up the middle maybe.
We're checking off to a new play right here. 10 seconds on the play clock, plenty of time.
A couple of cowbells ringing in the distance. Here's Towner, and Towner will silence the bells, and that'll be a first down just shy of the 45. Move it again. First down Raiders, powered by David Neal's Express Pharmacy. My goodness, this is surgical right here.
They brought James Ross across in motion from the far side to the near side here. He got set for a couple of seconds on the snap. He went back across, followed the pulling guard, and Kari Towner got in behind both of those guys. It's nothing fancy, folks. This is just line it up, smash mouth football.
I love this. This is so fun to watch.
And if you're an offensive lineman, this is your dream right here.
This is fun.
Just get in behind me and let's go.
Folks, this is not your prototypical Lamar Raider football. We're not slinging around the lot 40 times no more. This is a new era, new style. First down inside the 45. Here's Towner. Another ground game play inside the 50. Down to the 47, 8-9 yards, second and short. We're breaking their wheel right here, Coach, just like we did Simpson last week.
Got to give credit to the offensive line up there. They're doing a tremendous job opening up holes for Kari and Joe. Got to give some love to the H-backs, Walker Mims and James Ross also.
All right, second down and short here. Foul in the shotgun. Of course, we know what he's going to do. He's going to hand it off to Towner, and Towner makes one move, two moves, trips over folks, and gets down inside the 40 to the 39. First down, Lamar. First down, Raiders. Hey, David Neal's Express Pharmacy. Here's another payoff on a first down.
Yeah, I don't know if you noticed it or not, but we have 2 tight ends in the game right now. Got Caleb Randall to our side, and it looks like, I can't tell really, but I think it may be Walker Mims to the far side along with the H-back, James Ross.
All right, looks like Sonic is going to check in, that being Joe Morrow. 1st and 10 inside the Winston 40. Here's Morrow on a running play. Morrow inside the 35. Folks, that's another 6, 7, 8 yards on first down. This is super impressive. This may be a little more impressive than last week, because we're just in the third quarter.
We are just imposing our will right now on Winston Academy. 2nd down and 5. Good job by the offense there. And I guarantee you, Coach Lucker's probably in Coach Norwood's ear right now. Keep this sucker running. Let's run the football.
50 seconds and counting to go here in the third quarter. Here's Morrow again behind Ross, and he's just hiding behind Ross and gets the first down inside the 30 down to about the 27.5. Hey, David Neal's Express Pharmacy, guess what? You got another first down.
Well, I tell you what, Kari and Joe do a tremendous job following their blockers. They're patient runners. They let the play develop in front of them. They see a little crease, and they're out the other side. Looks like got a player for Winston cramping. He's coming off the field. That's a good sign that he's coming off on his own power.
Tell you what, maybe a cramp.
I believe that's what it was.
Yeah.
What it looked like initially.
Of course, Winston
played
like
a
Lamar,
lot of guys both ways.
A lot of guys both ways, and this humidity tonight, that's tough up here, but I can't imagine down there. 30 seconds, we'll get at least one play off here, and that's going to be to Towner. Towner, what a cut move. What a cut move back inside to out. And, folks, he's inside the 20 down to about the 17, 18-yard line. That's 11, 12 yards. First down, Lamar, first down, Raiders. Say it with me. David Neal's Express Pharmacy, first down.
That was an impressive jump cut there by Kari Towner. He got the edge over there, made one move, made a great jump cut, and was off to the races.
And it looks like Lamar is not going to run another offensive play here in the third quarter. So, folks, another just physically tough ball game tonight for Lamar, imposing their will. We have played 3 with your same score, Lamar 34 and Winston 0. Back in 1 minute with the start of the fourth quarter after this with Queen City Newsfeed and 97 OKK.
'97 OKK brings Meridian together with the best country hits, local news, and community events. Enjoy favorite personalities and contests all day long. 97 OKK, the soundtrack to your day.
Stay informed with Queen City Newsfeed, Meridian's trusted source for timely news and weather alerts. Get breaking updates and community highlights. Follow us on Facebook or visit queencitynewsfeed.com today.
Here tonight, Lamar, it's all Raiders, 34-0, as Lamar with football possession has drove this thing from way back from inside their own 10, and folks, they have rushed it on a bunch of plays down to the 15 on the other end of the field.
Robbie, I don't know if you noticed this or not, but as soon as that quarter was ended, all of our guys, including our sideline, was jogging down to the other end, getting ready to meet with Coach Norwood and get the offensive play. And the Winston Academy defense just walked to the sideline. They are absolutely gassed.
Tell you what, I talked about it with someone earlier this week. This team is in such great physical shape. They have worked their tail off during the summer months. Coach, that's where championships to me are won. When nobody's watching.
That's exactly right. Nobody sees what goes on in the summer, how hard these guys work. I know how hard they work because I've been up there working with that little junior high group, and I've seen these guys outside in the heat in that hot gym lifting weights. These guys are in great shape.
All right, so first down for Lamar at the Winston 15-yard line. Lamar will be moving left to right as we had to swap ends of the field after the end of the third quarter. So first play of the fourth quarter is going to be a carry to Kari Towner. He'll be strung out inside the 15 down to the 14. Tried the edge over here, but Winston read it fairly well with a couple of Patriots to get there for the stop.
Good job by Winston right there, not letting Kari get the edge on that play. Brings up, actually didn't pick up any yards, brings up 2nd and 10. Our other tight end, I mentioned earlier, we had Caleb Randall at 1. The other tight end is Hayes Lancaster.
Yeah, I saw Lancaster earlier. There's James Ross, the H, out there. I see Randall. Yeah, Randall's on the left side, and Lancaster's on the right side. So this is just a big boy, old-school formation right here.
There he goes.
Towner inside the 10 and stumbled a bit inside the 10 down to about maybe the 7. And he has to get down to the 5 to get the first down. So it's going to bring up 3rd down and short. But most importantly,
clock's running.
Clock's running as we are now at 11 minutes to go in the ball game. Lamar 34, Winston nothing on the Will Sweat Alpha Insurance scoreboard.
Like you said, big boy football right there. Get in behind that offensive line. Give it to your feature back.
Towner in the backfield. Val takes the snap here, hands it off to Towner. He's inside the 5, cuts it back here toward our near side, and he's got the first down and a little bit more inside the 5. Another David Neal's Express Pharmacy first down, but this time, Coach, is 1st and goal.
1st and goal. Good job. That was pretty much all Kari right there. Got to give credit to Winston's defense for stuffing the hole right there.
All right, it's going to be 1st down and goal, line of scrimmage at about the 4-yard line. If Lamar puts one in the end zone here, the clock will then run according to MAIS rules. You got to get in that 35-point window. All right, looks like Walker Mims is going to check in to take the direct snap from the 4-yard line. Here's the direct snap to Mims, and Mims will be cut down at about maybe the 2-yard line on that direct snap, and it's going to bring up 2nd and goal from that point. But once again, Coach, I hate to sound like a broken record, clock rolls.
Good job by Walker. I thought initially he had a hole back to his left. I don't know if he saw something different than I did, but anyway, he went straight ahead, picked up a couple of yards, 2nd down and goal.
Actually got near the 1.5 right here, so I'd say let Mims do it again right here. He's in the shotgun, and he's going to take it. Ooh, he got hit hard in the backfield. I think he was lucky just to get back to the line of scrimmage there. That was like 2 Rams hitting each other in the hole, and that's going to be maybe a half a yard at most. But most importantly, clock runs, 3rd down and goal from that point.
3rd and goal.
Oh, we got a man limping off. That's going to be James Ross.
He was cramping over here. He's hopping off the field on his own power. He was cramping.
And it looks like we're going to get a timeout on the field here. This may just be a quick timeout so James could get off the field there, and that looks like that's going to be the case here.
I think you're right.
Yep, no official timeout, but now we are going. All right, we are going to get a timeout. So the Raiders will call a timeout. So we got a timeout on the broadcast here with 9:31 to go in the ball game. It's all Raiders, 34-0. Back after this short timeout of 30 seconds here with Queen City Newsfeed and 97 OKK. All right, folks, welcome back to the broadcast here. 9:31 to go in the ball game. Lamar 34, Winston 0. It'll be 3rd and goal at around the 1-yard line deep in Patriot territory. Walker Mims takes the direct snap, and he's trying to fight to get in, and he will. Touchdown, Lamar. Touchdown, Raiders. That's going to be a 1-yard scamper there for Walker Mims. That's going to be the death knell, and the clock, she will now churn.
Good job by Walker Mims taking the snap and just going around the left side, fighting off a tackler into the end zone right there. You and I talked about it during the break. That was an excellent timeout call by Coach Luker to set up the play he wanted.
That makes it a 40-0 ball game. PAT pending here for Maddox Mims. Of course, MAIS rules The clock is now officially running. It's under 8:55. It will not stop. Snapback is good. Well, the kick is, well, they did get the kick. Been a little bit of an issue back there holding the PATs tonight, but Lamar does get the kick to go up and good. So we'll keep things here on the broadcast as we have an official running clock now with 8.5 minutes, and we'll probably be wrapping this ball game up in just moments with the running clock. But, man, what a night for the Raiders, 41-0.
It's been a great offensive night for the Raiders, great defensive job by the Raiders tonight. 41-0, 8-19, the clock running right here. You got to feel good about the situation. Feel good about the football team. They came out tonight with the purpose. Started out fast in the first half. Had a little hiccup here to start the second half. Got a big turnover down there. Kept Winston out of the end zone, and it's been all Raiders since then.
I'm drying back here. Coach Val and Coach Darby just left their igloo over here, and the air feels fantabulous. You can go back there and get you some if you want to.
You know, that talking about Coach Val and Coach Darby, those two guys, man, they're phenomenal. They're fun to work with. Great guys. We have a great coaching staff.
Appreciate Todd and what he does. I know he's proud of his boy tonight, Cade. He's played a good football game tonight.
He really has. And I'll tell you what, these low snaps on these extra points, you got to give credit to Cade. He get it off the ground and get it on that tee. That's a great job by Cade.
I can tell Coach Luker was like, would y'all stop it? I can hear him. Will you stop it? Coach, we're up 41-0. I don't care. I'm just picking on. You can pick and have fun and smile when you're in this position here.
Yes, you can. And Coach, I guarantee you, Coach Luker, he's you know, he knows the game's in the bag, but he wants these boys to finish this game in the right way.
Under 7 minutes on a running clock now due to MAIS rules with it being 41-0. Mims will kick this one away, and going to be back to the gas station here. So unleaded's a little high, so is that kick, and it's going to be 1st and 10 at the 20.
What a weapon.
Yeah.
What a weapon to have. And it's like I told you last week, Robbie, he's a sophomore.
I know. It's unbelievable. The youngsters that are contributing so early in this young season, and, folks, they're only going to get better, and they're going to get better, and they're going to get better.
They really
Gosh,
are.
I wish we were playing next week. Now we got a off week. I know Coach Luker was like, "Can we find somebody to play next Friday?"
You got a little momentum here. You don't want to lose it, but you know, second game of the season, you know, you gonna have a few bumps and bruises. I'm sure he'll practice these kids hard though.
6 minutes now on the running clock. Here's a speed sweep out here to the edge. I thought Lancaster was going to get that tackle, but on the edge right over here, cleaning things up on the back end there for Lamar. Looks like that might have been 24. Chase Putman coming in there to make a tackle.
A good job by Chase. Good job by Hayes Lancaster. He didn't let him get the edge. He made him cut back inside there, and Chase Putman was there to clean it up.
5:40 on that running clock here at the field here tonight. Lamar is going to win the ball game, obviously, but it's just a matter of now what's the final going to be.
I'm glad to see Chase Putman playing football. He's a great kid. He's a great baseball player.
Oh, he's a great catcher, folks. If you missed him during baseball season, he's a senior. You get to see him in the spring, and he may have a future in that area.
I believe you're right. Great young man. I've gotten to know him a little bit the last couple of weeks. Well, I say weeks, last couple of months, and good kid, good young man.
Got a timeout on the field called by Winston Academy, and we'll keep things right here on the broadcast. I'm going to check the MAIS scoreboard with you real quick. I think we've got a couple of ball games that are fairly close to being final tonight. Well, I just got an end of the third quarter score. A team we'll see later this year, Starkville Academy 42, Marshall Academy 3.
That's not surprising.
That's not surprising there. Tri-County went on to win their ball game tonight, 42-0 over Canton.
I'm going to tell you something. Tri-County's taking some frustrations out on some folks.
Yeah. In the fourth quarter, last reported score, Leak 28, Simpson 6. So that's the last we've gotten here on the update.
That's not surprising there either. And, you know, everybody was counting Leak Academy out this year because they lost George Wilcox, who you and I both have seen Wilcox play a lot over the last few years. But they have a quarterback named Chandler Major.
Yeah, he's good.
He's good. He's not as good to me as Wilcox, but it's only the second game of the year. So.
And, folks, he's got two receivers that will keep a lot of defensive coordinators up at night.
I'm glad I don't have to try to draw up a defense against those two guys because they can flat out run.
Of course, will be hanging on pine trees and limbs and everything else, try to get a signal out for that ball game. As play resumes, quarterback is running out here to this edge. This little freshman's been running for his life all night, but this time he's going to get a good gainer across the 35 and run out of bounds at about the 37. That was kind of a sandlot play there, just trying to get something out of nothing. And good-looking athlete is this young ninth-grade quarterback. Of course, we've mentioned him a lot here tonight. That's Paxton Greer. He's only going to get better, folks. He's a good-looking athlete, runs the ball well. Game's been a little fast for him tonight, I think.
He rolled out here to the left side, and nobody was open, and we lost contain on the backside, and he got around the corner and managed to pick up a lot of yards, brings up first down for Winston Academy.
A couple of more scores rolling into the third quarter. Hartfield 37, Washington School 7.
That's not surprising.
Into the third quarter, Ravenwood, Tennessee 22, MRA 7. So a lot of that Pillow Heritage score earlier, where Pillow was walloping Heritage, was a little shocking.
Have you got a score update on that?
I should get one here any minute on that one.
If Pillow hangs on to win that's got to be my upset of the week.
Yeah, that's a big game. It's going to turn a lot of heads here in MAIS for sure. 3:55 on the running clock here. 41-0 Lamar. Only drama left in this one is the final score. Lamar would love to pitch a shutout here tonight. First down for Winston just beyond their 35, and didn't look like a very clean snap on the play, but they're going to get maybe a yard out of that. It's just been frustration all night for Winston offensively, but give Lamar credit. They've been flying to the football as well.
They have. They picked up right where they left off last week defensively. And I don't know if you noticed it or not, but the play clock expired before the snap. The refs didn't even bother to throw a delay of game penalty. He knows this academic. Just let these boys play the rest of this football game and get out of here.
3:15 and counting on the running clock here. Like I said, the only thing left, Lamar would love to keep the old 0 up on the board here. Second down and 9 here for the young freshman quarterback. He's back to throw, and it is complete out here into the flat, but nice job. Good tag team play there by the Raiders. You had Kipton Ware leading the charge there. Looks like Mims came in there to kind of help out, and so did Chase Putman. But, man, Kipton Ware, don't want to sell him short. He's had a good ball game.
That's right. Kipton is one of those guys. He's real quiet. He doesn't do a lot of flashy things, but he is extremely steady, and he's another one of those kids that is very, very coachable and also has a bright future in baseball.
Preston Perrett's going to check into the ball game for the first time tonight in the secondary. So we're seeing a lot of the youngsters here on the tail end of the ball game here. Third down and 5 with 2:25 on that running clock now. 41-0 in favor of your Lamar Raiders. All right, the young ninth grader in the shotgun here. Pistol formation, 2 to the left, 1 to the right. He's back to throw. They're going for a home run ball down the field, and it is incomplete. They were looking for Ashford down there, and, we were told he was going to be one of their big guys. He's their best player, but, Coach, he's only had 1 catch here tonight. They've only targeted him 3 times.
Well, you got to give credit to Coach Renault and Coach Hop for the game plan they've come up with tonight. Anytime you can shut down your opposing team's best player, you've done a phenomenal job, and our defense has answered the bell time and time again tonight.
1:40 remaining in the ball game. It's 4th down and 5 here for Winston. Obviously, you just might as well go for it here.
What have you got to lose?
The ball game is in hand. Lamar's going to go to 2-0 with 90 seconds remaining on the running clock here. Lamar made this academic earlier tonight. It's now 41-0. Penalty flag before the snap, and
going to be offsides against the Raiders, I think.
And if that is the penalty, it's going to be pretty close to a first down. I think it will be a first down, right on the button. Yep, so that should move the chains. That's not going to make the ball coach too happy on a pre-snap penalty.
No, the pre-snap penalties, offensively, a pre-snap penalty is a drive killer. If you're on defense, it's a drive saver. So you're right. Coach Luker's not going to be too happy about that.
All right, under a minute to go on the running clock. Of course, that last penalty marker brought to you by Citizens National Bank this evening on the broadcast. 1 play left, maybe 2. We'll see. They're back to throw it here. Boy, the ninth grade Greer, he's running for his life, and he is going to be sacked by TJ.
Look at our defensive crew run up
TJ,
here. Everybody's wanting to get a.
I've been wanting to say that all the way.
Everybody's running up there and giving TJ, showing TJ some love. That was a great job by TJ.
TJ, Love it, love it, love it, love it. TJ with his second sack of the season. That may be the period on this one.
I think that's it. Well, they sending out the
10 seconds. 9,
Why
8.
not? Go ahead and give him one more snap.
Don't let him get an easy one here. 4, 3, 2, 1. They get one last snap off, does the Patriots. They're going to throw a Hail Mary down the field, and it's going to fall incomplete. And Lamar has won it here tonight in shutout fashion over the Winston Academy Patriots as Coach Stacy Luker goes to 2-0, but most importantly, 1-0 this week as the Raiders win it in shutout fashion by a final score of 41-0. We're going to take a timeout, a quick one on the broadcast. When we return, we'll have your Lamar Raider post-game show. Lamar wins it 41-0. Back after this here on Queen City Newsfeed and 97 OKK.
We'll be off next week, and then we'll travel to Leek. Look forward to seeing everyone there. Please be safe and enjoy.
Are we on TV again? Oh, my goodness. They going to show our ugly mugs again.
Our post-game show, and what a happy post-game show it is as Lamar wins it here tonight by a final score of 41-0. And boy, what an impressive performance from top to bottom, Coach Madden. It was 34-0 at the break. Lamar got one last touchdown, and basically a carbon copy from last week. You remember, folks, if you were with us last week, the touchdown drive, well, it wasn't a touchdown drive. It was just the final drive of the night. Started at the 7. Lamar nailed it on the 1. Here tonight, we started inside the 10, but this time tonight, we stuck it in the end zone to kind of break the will of this Winston Ball Club. But, man, what a win tonight for Lamar.
I agree. This is a total team effort here tonight. Great job offensively, defensively, special teams, as you call it, the little sandlot play on special teams right there. Great job all around by the Raiders. Great job by the coaching staff.
I mean, I think tonight Cade Val had his big night.
Yes.
You know, you always wonder when you got a young player, and you've been around a lot of football like I have, you always wonder in a quarterback spot, when is going to be that coming out party? When's his big night going to be? Well, I think here on August the 21st, 2026, it was Cade Val's night.
It was. Cade did a tremendous job tonight. You know, like you said earlier, take the interception away. That was just a bad throw.
Yeah.
Other than that, Cade Val played exceptionally well.
Of course, Sonic and Knuckles do their thing again tonight. Kari Towner and Joe Morrow, can't say enough about them. Defensively, to pitch a shutout, I don't care what level of football you play at, that's exceptional.
That's right. We had guys flying around the football all night just like we did last week. Tell you what, we're clicking on all cylinders, and I'm like you. Doggone it, I don't want that bye week.
I want to play next week.
I want to play next week. I want to see these guys get after it again. It's been a lot of fun.
I tell you what, folks, this is a fun group to be around, and I really encourage you to make your way to Waynesboro in 2 weeks. Get down to Waynesboro and support these young men, support this coaching staff. And, folks, Coach Luker has got us at 2-0 right now, but you know what? They're not just going to rest on this.
No.
They're going to work hard next week. They're going to practice them hard and get ready for Wayne Academy in 2 weeks. But, man, going to be a fun drive home from Louisville tonight.
Yes, it is. And I don't know how many folks know this, but Wayne Academy is a district game for us.
Wow. So that's a big ball game coming up in 2 weeks.
So you can rest assured Coach Luker will remind our guys that this is a district game, and for us to get where we want to be, we've got to have this one. And I've never been around a group of guys that love each other and play for each other like this football team does. I've been around them now since school was out in the beginning of school. And these guys, when I say they care about each other, Robbie, they care about each other. These coaches care about each other. These coaches care about these kids. And you've been around kids long enough to know you can't fool a kid. A kid knows if you care for him.
Yeah. And I can tell you one thing, Coach Luker is the real deal. And I really encourage you, come out and watch a ball game, get around Coach Luker, and you'll see exactly what we're talking about. The attitude is different.
Yes.
You know, it's a good disciplined football team, and I'm telling you what, championships I know everybody's chasing that, but I tell you what, the foundation he's laying for this 26 team is pretty darn impressive so far.
It really is. You know, like you said, it's going to be a good ride home. I'm sure he'll tell the kids, hey, enjoy it tonight.
Yeah.
Have a great weekend. Take care of your bodies. Hydrate because it's going to be hot next week. And, just do the things necessary to win football games because that's what champions do.
Yeah.
That's what champions do. They take care of themselves off the field. They eat right. They just take care of their bodies, and that's what we need these guys to do.
Do want to thank our sponsors on the video side. I know you're catching us on the wide angle maybe of your broadcast. I'm not sure about that. But anyway, I do want to say big thanks to Insurance Center, John Morgan Mims. Appreciate him. Appreciate Woodstock Furniture. All you guys do for us on this end of things. And also want to thank Cash Savers by Val's and Val's Marketplace. Of course, Todd, appreciate him being on the broadcast this year with us. Those are our video sponsors. Appreciate you being with us so far on the video side of things. And appreciate Jonathan and the staff over here outside the camera angle over here. So they do a great job working hard, and they'll get some good sleep tonight, I think.
I'm sure they will.
Do want to thank all of our radio sponsors as well. On the radio side, Mattress Express by Woodstock Furniture, our good buddy Will Sweat over at Alpha Insurance, David Neal's Express Pharmacy. I think they got paid off pretty good tonight on first downs. Also, Citizens National Bank. Appreciate all the branches back home. Also, the Madison Road Gallery by Woodstock Furniture, and Teal New Animal Hospital. You got like all them touchdowns you're getting this year so far. Also, So It Seems. Appreciate them. East Mississippi Oral and Facial Surgery. Appreciate them. Van Zyverden Insurance Advisory Group. They've been with us for a long time on the broadcast. The Rustler, First State Bank, Burns & Burns, and, of course, Charles and the folks down at Weidman's. Can't thank them enough for supporting us in the broadcast this year.
Well, on behalf of Lamar School, I just personally want to say a big thank you to all those folks because without those guys, you wouldn't be able to do what you do up here in the booth, and we do appreciate them.
Well, folks, that's going to wrap things up here from a happy final tonight as your Lamar Raiders go to 2-0 as they win it here tonight 41-0. Folks, have a great rest of your Friday night. Be safe on the highways and byways this weekend. And most importantly, beyond football, the most important thing on Sunday, choose the church of your choice as always. Folks, have a great rest of your weekend. Lamar wins it tonight 41-0, and we'll talk to you in 2 weeks when we head down to Waynesboro to take on Wayne Academy. So for Coach Madden, I'm Rob Allen. That'll wrap things up here on the broadcast. And as always, go Raiders as you've been listening and watching Raider football with Queen City Newsfeed, East Mississippi Sports, and 97 OKK.
It's over $1 million big, and it's happening now at Woodstock Furniture. Market Showroom Sample Sellout. Hundreds of quality market samples purchased at pennies on the dollar, and that's exactly what you'll pay. Living room, bedroom, dinettes, recliners, mattresses, and more, all at wholesale prices or below. But you do need to hurry while selections last. Credit terms are available even at these unheard-of prices. Market Showroom Sellout at Woodstock Furniture in Meridian and Philadelphia, or WoodstockValueCenter.com.